And immediately everything breaks. It's that time of year again. It's E3. I've been spending the last couple hours messing around with OBS trying to get something set up. And just when I get it working, now whenever I click transition, it keeps on switching the thing around. Alright, I guess I've got to do that. And then, oh, hold on, let me check the live stream. Are we up? Are we got it? Are we good? No, the stream's still, oh, there we go. Alright. That's why OBS just does whatever the hell it wants sometimes. No, the stream's still, oh, there we go. Alright. Oh. Okay, so this is sort of going to be a test. Because I've never restreamed anything before. I have no idea if my internet's going to be good enough to handle it. I live in the middle of nowhere in Australia. So, oh, there we go. I'll just see if I can turn that up a bit. No, I can't. Alright, which means I'm going to have to turn it up in OBS. Hello, I'm talking really loud now so I can test the volume levels. Okay, that seems alright. Barely made it in time.
Guys, okay, yeah, you're doing, we all gotta move. We gotta move. The fans are lined up. The doors are almost open. This is EA Play. What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller, and we are doing things a little bit differently this year. Instead of one giant show, you are getting deep dives into all the games you love every half hour. Now, you can watch them all. You can tune in for your favorite games. You can turn it off right now, but I wouldn't suggest it. Because, of course, today we're looking at Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, FIFA 20,
this looks different,
and The Sims. That's 6 shows.
Are they doing the thing like Anthem, like they did with Anthem last year, where they're just going to sit around and have a chat? Don't tell me I went live for nothing, and it's just going to be a fucking shitty panel.
Apex Legends Season 2 reveals including a new weapon, a new battle pass, and we're revealing a new legend live on stage.
Great. Adam Rank, quickly, what does Madden 20 have for us?
Gameplay, Greg.
Okay, I meant quick, but not that quick.
Okay, well, we've got an exclusive first look at gameplay. We've got a deep dive into X-Factor abilities, face of the franchise. We got Patrick Mahomes throwing sidearm. We got some Deadeye thing. We got Ray.
Too long. Now Freeman, Hardy, Battlefield 5. News?
We've got loads
This is
of
embarrassing.
It. Brand new maps.
This is so
and of course some new
embarrassing.
updates to reveal too.
I mean, this is typical E3 it is. It's just going to get used to the...
No spoilers. In Freeman, you might want to touch
Well, I
yourself
suppose if you watch live TV, you're probably
FIFA
used to all
20,
this
talk
stuff
to
by
me.
now, but
FIFA
I'm not.
dropped their reveal trailer
I
this
spend too much
morning
time on
announcing
YouTube. I don't watch
Full Tilt
TV.
Football. Later today, I'll have all
I'm
the
not
new
used to
details on
condescending
FIFA 20 and
presenters
some
for all
very
these
special
shows
guests will
talking
give
down
you
to me and all
more
this shit.
info on Volta.
But yeah,
good.
this is
Also,
looking
you should call
really
your
different than what they
mom
usually
more
do.
often. I mean, it has nothing to do with FIFA 20, but it's just good advice for you and everyone watching. Okay, now, Julia, you're also hosting The Sims. Tell me what you've got in 3 words.
Brand new pack reveal.
That's 4 words. Now, win me back by telling me what you have in store for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Why are you asking me? It's your show.
Right, we have 15 minutes of exclusive, never before seen gameplay, and I am so excited to sit down with Vince, Stig, find out all about this Star Wars game. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We are mere minutes away. Folks, this is your last chance. Grab that drink, grab a snack, adjust your chair to the perfect degree you want, because EA
Yeah, I've
Play
got Twitter
starts
open
soon.
at the same time. So much fake enthusiasm. That sums it up.
They can be organized
So...
You're doing a great job brooming, all right?
I'm just going to take a sec to mute
Play
this so
guy?
I can focus on what I'm actually saying for a sec. Because I've... Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is quite different. They're showing all the whole timetable and everything. This isn't... I guess they're skipping the press conference and just doing this sort of... Wait, how long is this? 3 p.m.? Oh. Well, I want to see what this new Star Wars game's about anyway. But I'll take this opportunity to talk about what I've got set up here. Which, let me just check it's working first. There we go. So I was hoping Because like I spend a lot of time on every E3 I'm usually all over Twitter, but the problem is that I'm not that fast a typer. Like when things get really exciting, which is not usually EA, which is why this is basically just a test. Like my brain goes faster than my fingers can. I can't, like, I try to get involved on Twitter and the whole discussion, and it's kind of too much a lot of the time. Again, not EA. So, that's why I decided I wanted to try streaming it instead, so I can just, as things come to mind, I can just talk. I can just say it out loud. I don't need to worry about typing, don't need to really think much about anything, but I still like seeing what everyone else has to say on Twitter. So I'm trying this weird hybrid thing where I've actually got Twitter open in the sidebar here. Since I don't... Oops. This one. But since there isn't really much happening right now, I'm probably not going to keep on it for very long. But whenever there's some interesting stuff happening on Twitter, then I will switch to this. And if we've got like an image or something, I did have something set up. Not that. We go open link, a new tab. I'm gonna remember, this is the first time I've actually put this into practice. It's all just ideas at this point. Oh! And my mouse... Did Chrome just crash? Did Chrome just fucking crash? Oh my god. Oh. This is a fucking disaster. I don't usually use Chrome, but I've... Oh no. Oh, I didn't. It's not going to open all my stuff. Oh my god, I'm going to have to set up the whole fucking stream again. From scratch! Because it didn't save it like Firefox does when you crash. Oh. Fucking hell. Yeah, I usually don't use Chrome. I usually use Firefox, but I've got like a million fucking tabs open all the time. And I was worried about having issues with that, so I just thought, oh no, there's a restore button. I'm an idiot. I thought that just said okay, but it's the restore button. Alright, I have got to switch away from that before someone posts something on Twitter that I don't want to be visible. Because I had all the windows set up, so only the things I'd want people to be able to see would be hold on. There we go. So only the things that I'd actually want people to see would show up. So it's all set up, so no porn will come up on screen, hopefully. Okay, I've got over 8 minutes until anything interesting actually happens. I'm probably going to call this one early. Oh, but there's the Nintendo thing as well. Ugh. Usually for a lot of E3 stuff, I stay up overnight. But I asked work for days off, but I guess we both kind of made a mistake, because I should have asked for... This is going by Australian time zones, obviously. I should have asked for Sunday off. Which is technically today now, because it's after midnight, but it's 2:20 AM here. And yeah, I should have asked for Sunday off, but I got work on Sunday, but it's late. And then first thing after that, I'm pretty much going to have to pull an all-nighter so I can stay up early enough to be able to watch the Xbox conference and the Bethesda one and some of that stuff. God, what a mess. What's even... Nope. Let me switch to studio mode so I can fix this. Wait a minute, you oh, cancel. That should work now. There we go. So that's the full thing. And now... it's layout. Alright, we got it! OBS keeps on doing, like, looking for the process, I think. Like the, like chromes.exe process. Which means that... and it's because I've got other things open in Chrome, it's going to keep on switching to the wrong view. Because it gets confused. It's like, is this... is this one Twitter? No, that's not Twitter. Is this one the stream? No, that's not stream. That's Twitter. Oh my god. What an absolute disaster this has been. I think I'm just gonna try switching back to the music. I've also got to turn off all this shit that Twitch likes to put on top of streams. I just want to watch the stream, please. I don't want any of this crap. And yeah, I'm just gonna cut back to music for a few minutes because I don't know what else to do, because I was not expecting this to be like this. I was thinking this was actually gonna be a press conference, but it's not, so I've just completely wasted completely wasted my time. We've got half an hour of the Star Wars thing to watch. Apex, yeah, and then there's the Nintendo thing as well, isn't there? Because I don't know how late I'm going to stay up. Because since I'm going to have to pull an all-nighter tomorrow night, I want to, you know, get as much sleep as I can before that. But what if they announce a new character? What if you'd think they'd announce a new character at the main Nintendo Direct? But there's probably going to be there could be some kind of announcement at this Smash Invitational thing. I think the first Nintendo thing they're doing tonight is Smash. I did not pay attention to what the dates were until like right before I went streaming. So I thought that these invitationals and all this stuff were going to be after the Direct. But nah, shows what I know. So yeah, with this stream, I have no idea how this stream's going to go. We'll see. I'm going to switch to music now. Hopefully it'll all actually work properly this time. Actually, no, I'm not going to switch to music. Just remember, I only just quickly set up music for this screen, and now it's not even showing me the music player. There you go, for this one. I haven't actually set it up properly for this yet, I don't think. Or maybe I have, because I've got one that I messed around with another day, but I haven't checked it today to see if it'll work. Oh yeah, there is this one. What if I do that? Yep, alright, that looks good. Alright. BRB. Oh, wrong one. I just realized I had like 2 things playing at the same time for a lot of that, I think. I'm sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm still working things out. Does it have to? Can it start later? I'm tired. Now I'm gonna have to turn things back up because I turned it down for the music, because the stream is way quieter than I thought, and I can't change the stream's I can't make the stream any louder than this in the actual player. All right. What's happening in the Star War?
You know what? We're talking about Star Wars. Yeah. We've been waiting so long for details on this game. I can't believe.
How about EA gonna fuck up Star Wars this time?
And we're finally here to help us get things started. We've got the head of Respawn, Vince Zampella, and the director of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Stig Asmussen. Everybody give it up for Vince and Stig. Come on. Get in there. How you doing?
I apologize in advance for my mic. I mean, for my mouse and also my keyboard if I end up using it, for them popping up on the mic. I've got the mic sitting on the same desk. There's not really anything I can do about it right now.
Guys, welcome to EA Play.
Thank you. What a great welcome.
How are you feeling right now? No pressure. You're just about to announce maybe one of the biggest, if not the biggest, games of your lives.
I'm gonna let Stig answer this one.
You're supposed to answer this.
Off script.
So awesome.
Oh yeah, we're totally off script. They gave me cards. That was the dumb
officially off
idea.
script.
Nobody cared.
It's so awesome to be here. I mean, it's EA Play, it's E3, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really get any bigger than that.
Yeah, this is something that Stig and I have been envisioning for years, to see it come to life and be able to show you guys 15 minutes of gameplay today. Uncut.
All right. So everybody's anxious to see what this 15 minutes is going to be.
Yeah.
For somebody watching right now who's just a FIFA fan, they don't know anything. What is happening? What is this game all about?
Why would a FIFA fan watch something like this anyway? I mean, most of this stuff is just for shareholders, isn't it? I think most fans of sports games are just more casual players. I probably wouldn't be, especially in Australia, staying up till 2:30 in the morning just so they can watch stuff about the new FIFA. They're not really that kind of person normally, are they? I don't know. I don't know who plays sports games besides the casual people. I know there's like some kind of like serious, like competitive scene and all that, but I don't know anything about it. Just that it apparently exists.
This is unedited. We had one of our star players, Blair, over there.
That's it right there.
This is an
I have no. I keep on adjusting the volume. I have no idea how this sounds. I'm sorry.
Just a few times. 2 or 3, Blair? 2 or 3?
2 or 3 dozen.
It takes place on Kashyyyk, which is the Wookiee planet.
Of course.
And Cal's on a mission to restart the Jedi Order, and it takes him here to Kashyyyk. And the Wookiees have been enslaved by the Empire, who's basically siphoning the planet for all its resources to build up the Imperial war machine.
Got it. All right, so I brought up my phone, not to be rude, of course. It wouldn't be Greg Miller if I didn't look at the Twitch chat. And yeah, they are all through with us talking. They'd like to see the game. We've gone on long enough. We're not going to drone.
Let's do it.
Vince,
Well, let's roll.
would you like to kick it off?
Let's go.
So there's this website it's not bingo. It's like a betting website. Well, not real betting. It's fake money. Just it's based on this this one group of streamers, Easy Allies. They used to do stuff for game trailers. before game trailers mostly shut down. And one of the things on that was that at the Jedi Fallen Order stuff, there'd be an existing character from the movies. I think it said a specific set of movies. I forget which ones. I guess whichever ones take place in the timeline alongside this, but that. Yeah, so I'll earn some completely fake money that's completely meaningless if an existing Star Wars character comes up, which it probably will, knowing EA, to like, it'll be like the last shot in the trailer, it's like, oh look, it's Luke, or some shit. Try and get people excited.
Double as brutal prison camps. Use those cutters to create a distraction, while you take your lightsaber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to stop the Empire.
Understood.
Watch yourself in there.
You hear that? He said he needs my help. Come on, buddy.
Alright, that's a cute droid.
Gonna need to get through here.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this one, unfortunately. I mean, it looks alright. Looks like, you know, it's a third-person action game, so a bit of The Force Awakens, a bit of, what's it called? Jedi Academy or whatever. Like, that whole series that, like, spun off from Dark Forces. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It's weird the way that, like, the subtitles of one turned into, like, the main series title, and then... the names of that whole, like, series or sub-series or whatever the fuck you even call that is kind of a mess. It was like Jedi Knight, I think it was. Yeah, it was like Dark Forces, and then like Dark Forces Jedi Knight, and then I think there was another Jedi Knight one, and then Jedi Knight Jedi Academy? That's the one I've played the most of out of all those, I think, the last one. And even then I didn't play that much of it. And I beat The Force Awakens, but that was a long time ago. I beat the Wii version, for crying out loud. And yeah, I beat it in like high school. I rented it and beat it in the weekend, and my wrist was so sore because instead of just using an attack, it's exactly the same as the other versions, besides the graphics and the motion controls don't, you know, it's one of those games that just replaced a button with a waggle. So to use a lightsaber, it would just go flick, 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 flick with the Wii remote, and my wrist was so fucking sore. But I've got them on Steam now, so maybe I should actually, in one of the Humble Bundles, maybe I should actually play Force Awakens again one day. See how it holds up. See how it feels to play it with an actual controller without it causing me literal physical pain just to play a game. Well, hey, someone's actually in my chat and I didn't notice. It's the first time anyone's actually talked to me in the chat. It's only like my second stream ever. The link, it's just twitch.tv/twitch. I mean, I'll paste it in the chat if you're still even here, but... I don't know if EA is streaming it to their own Twitch or anything. This is just the first one I saw, and it's straight from Twitch itself, so...
That's why you wanted to get this thing. You had no idea that was there, did you? You just wanted to turn that cutter on.
I love that. The first person who's ever actually appeared in my chat and talked in the stream is just asking me to link them to a different stream. That's fantastic. That's fucking great.
Patrol the base. Got another breach down here. Some kind of webbing. Hey, who's that?
I won't retweet this one. I'm just looking at Twitter and someone's saying how it's really interesting how even like the supposed good guys rack up huge body counts. Like even the good guys end up killing a lot of people. Well, first of all, it is a war. I mean, it's a really interesting point. I'm not shitting on the guy, but you know, it's that is a really good point. But I think, you know, they very much try to minimize that, but they don't. If you stop and really think about it, it doesn't really make it better. Like a lot of the people, well, a lot of the characters end up being either clones or robots, so I think that's how they try and justify it a lot of the time. But clones are still people. Like, that's still a human being that you're killing. Just because it's a clone of another person doesn't make it any more or less okay. I mean, I think in the movies it's usually justified. Reminds me of this other YouTube video I watched about it once. I forget who made it. Talking about how interesting it is the way that Star Wars villains are promoted. Because, like, I mean, they're basically Nazis, right? Like, they're space Nazis. Like, it was obvious from the beginning, like, even in interviews and stuff, that the intention Like, even with the original movies, they're just meant to be Nazis. I mean, there are some people that might say that the Nazi thing's more recent, with like The Force Awakens. It was really blatantly referencing Nazism with the whole like the big speeches with the red banner in the background and all that. But they were meant to be Nazis from the beginning. And yet, you know, you see all this merchandise with stormtroopers and Star Wars and Darth Vader and all this stuff. These are meant to be really horrible people that did some horrible shit. And they're like almost like mascots for this series. Like Disney puts Mickey Mouse on stuff, and then they put friggin' the Star Wars universe's equivalent on Hitler on things in the same vein. I mean, it's a bit messed up if you really think about it.
The fewer distractions, the better.
But you know, they're fictional characters, so it's not actually promoting their ideology. It's just saying they're cool villains, not that they're actually good. You know, good characters don't mean good people. Definitely not. Like, just look at how friggin' huge Breaking Bad got, you know? And that's something people... there's this indie RPGs, kind of like an Earthbound sort of inspired thing called Y2K, and people criticize that a lot because the main character's an asshole. And like, oh, this character's not likable, I'm supposed to relate to this guy? Like, no, you're actually kind of not. I think that's... Well, I mean, you are in some ways, but he's supposed to be a bad guy. BoJack Horseman's another one. He's not a nice guy. He's trying to be better, but he's not a nice guy. But people still love that show. I know I do. I know it's one of my favorite shows ever. Same as Breaking Bad as well.
Need to slice this. No guards. Hey, we're here to free you. You're not alone.
Yeah, it's the same kind of droid as the one from Rogue One. Oh, the guy. I always forget his name, but he's such a smartass. Maybe he's kind of underrated. Alright, that looks cool, but they probably could have showed a better... Pick some better parts of it to show off, or maybe cut around a little bit. That's it. Where's this one got all the Xbox stuff on it? Isn't this... What platforms is that one on? I just assumed it was multiplat, because it usually is.
Guys, congratulations. That looks pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I have a million questions, and I know we're short on time as always. I want to point out, though, in the Twitch chat, Gwyn96 says, that's frickin' cool. But he didn't use frickin'. How does
They're
it
hitting Twitch
feel
chat. Oh, no.
to, I think, deliver, right? Like, you guys liked it, right? I think I was looking at the Twitch chat. There's a lot of people who like
Yeah, there's a lot of
What does it
interesting
feel
things
like
on
to find
Twitch
shows?
chat. XXX420 Blaze it XXXX says lol 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 lol. Insightful commentary.
To be able to be involved in something like this is just...
How do you even read Twitch chat in big events like this? Like, I'm watching on Twitch, but I sure as hell don't have the chat up. It's impossible to watch.
Everybody who busted
It's impossible to read even.
on the,
Like, how many people are watching
demo, but
this?
also the whole game. The whole game is coming together right now, so it's amazing.
Like
feeling to
67,000
be up there,
viewers.
and
Like, I
hope
can
that,
hardly keep up with the
Star
chat with some
fans
streamers that have
understand
like
we're really doing
less
our
than
best to try to honor
10,000.
the brand.
I mean, I think from... Yo, go ahead, clap. No, I'm going to stop you.
Like Vinesaw stuff. Like,
Whenever you
chat's
wanna clap,
impossible to
clap.
follow, and they've got heavy slow mode and all that
I
shit on.
think that's pretty evident from
Like,
the
events like this,
beginning.
it's like,
I liked when we
may as well
introduced
just
you guys
turn
talking
chat
about
off
that it's a
entirely.
skilled
Just
person
focus on
playing,
Twitter
right?
or
We
let
all see
people
it,
chat
we
in
get
their
the
own
books off.
discords or something.
What are we missing by not having our hands on the controllers? Like, what do lightsabers feel like?
I mean, it's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Because it looks like it's got weight to it, and throwing it and catching it, right? Like, that's the impact I think I want from it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's really satisfying. I mean, the game itself, it's thoughtful combat, as Stig likes to call it. It's what you saw was a really good player.
Yeah.
Right. So
He's
you'll
right
have
over
to
there
work up
again.
to
He'll
that
give out
stuff.
autographs after this panel.
So you can block, parry, deflect. Like we want the combat to feel really good for people to go in and be able to like be part of that and size up the enemies when things feel right. It feels really good.
Yeah, it's also about the enemy arrangements as well, like what enemies we're putting you up against, how you go in and use your tools to take them down. But it's not just lightsabers; it's the Force as well.
Sure. Well, that's part of this. You were talking to me last night about it, right? This thoughtful combat. And the idea that when I watched the demo initially, my thought was, oh, these are canned animations, right? I'm doing a force grab and stabbing the guy, and that's all. I hit R1 and that happened. That's not that way.
No, it's all freeform.
So, like, you can go back in and replay things and do it differently, or you and I would have different
Absolutely. And actually, the enemies react to each other in different ways. You saw the flame troopers fighting against the spiders. You could sit as bystander and just kind of watch that fight if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get any skill points if you do that. And it's not any fun either. It's fun to watch sometimes, but it's a lot more fun to play.
You talk about the skill points. Are those going into the Force abilities?
Yeah, so we're going to have the classic abilities. We're going to have push, pull. We've got what we call force flip, which is essentially double jump, which is nice because that's something that makes sense in Star Wars, a Jedi actually doing a double jump. But we have one unique expression of the Force that you saw in there, which is slow, which is a little bit of the glue between force, push, and pull.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome. I think I thought you couldn't top my favorite moment in the demo, right? Where you come around the corner, grab the stormtrooper, force pull the stormtrooper, stab him, but when you force pulled the stormtrooper and walked him into the bolt, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
That's one of my favorite. I think the first time I
Please
saw
clap.
that, I freaked out a little.
You actually said it better in the demo.
Well, you did
Like, we
it.
can't
You
see the
were
guy right now, but I bet you
Tell
he's
me
like doing something with his hands. Like, come on, clap to this, come on.
Right, because that's one of those
Like,
things
while
I
we're
feel
not
like
looking at
we're
him.
talking a lot about seeing things a lot about is we're running through the environment. You had different things. You had your normal stormtroopers. You had non-normal stormtroopers.
Yeah, and this is just a small portion of the game, by the way. So there's a lot more that we haven't shown.
You're saying that isn't the entire game?
That is not.
That's wow.
No,
I'm surprised.
no.
But we got our classic stormtroopers. We've got the scout troopers who you saw equipped with kind of melee charged weapon. We've got the flame troopers, but we also have the purge troopers whose task is to basically hunt Jedi.
Yeah.
Soften them up before the Inquisitors come in.
And like we're seeing right here, right? Like this bad.
That's the
MF
purge trooper.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Like so
New that the team created.
in. Adding to the Star Wars lore. Why we're pointing at one guy? Did he create
We
it?
made a
Just that
character,
one
please
man
clap.
Yeah.
did? It was a team effort. You led the charge.
Jordan did the concept.
Good job, Jordan. Everybody, 3 cheers for Jordan. So we're going through, and you have these new stormtroopers. You have your fire troopers. You have one of my favorite droids of all time coming back,
The KX.
and then making me fight him.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, you do.
No,
Trust me, you do.
I do.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Well, then talk about the other star of this 15-minute demo, right? The new droid, BD1.
There he is right there.
No, BD1. BD1's in the audience, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Thank you, BD1. He's adorable, as I'm sure you know. I immediately want him as a backpack, so just a heads up if you're talking to anybody in the licensing department.
All right. We can make
What
that
does he
happen.
do in the game, right? Excuse me, we're hosting a panel. You can keep it down over there. What are the traits? What are we using as? Is he just flair? Am I using him for different things?
Like story-wise, he's Cal's companion. He's an explorer droid, which is perfect because Cal's on this mission for survival that's taken him to all these savage planets. BD sounds for Buddy Droid 1, which is...
That's Respawn. That's
Yeah, I
Respawn.
mean,
I don't think I didn't notice the wall running either. I'm like, well, yeah, Respawn made this game. Yeah, okay.
Definitely inspired by BT, but the name ended up sticking.
Yeah.
So, one of the cool factoids is his voice is authored by the legendary Ben Burt.
Oh, nice.
Who did all the main sound designer in the original trilogy and beyond. But he can hack doors, computers, as we saw in there.
So just scan some stuff there.
Yep. Scan
Opening
the
doors.
environment for like environmental storytelling, learn more lore about the planet.
I saw him shooting out health packs. Is
Yep.
that
My earphones are
a
messing up.
animation after a fight? Is it a button I'm hitting?
It's player input.
Okay.
Whenever
like
they
a
want.
cooldown
Yep, sorry if that came through in the mic.
Eject a stim pack.
Okay.
There's a limited amount that you
Oh,
can
what
find
the
in the
heck is wrong with my earphones today?
And you're actually, in that moment, you're defenseless, so you got to choose wisely when you're going to do it.
Okay.
I hope it's not the
we've
headphone
seen
jack
the
on the
game.
mic.
Without spoiling stuff for me, what's going on in the story? Like, obviously, Cal, I thought he was going to be way weaker as a Jedi. You know, just tell me the whole story. What A to B, Stig, how's it go? What's the ending?
Well, the
Actually, you know what? Stop. Full stop. I can't believe I've gone this long in the panel without asking. Is Watto in this game?
You're not funny, dude. I'm sorry, you're not funny, dude.
No! Hashtag Watto 2019. I'll be retweeting them all after this panel. Thank you very much. But what's going on in the story outside of Watto should be in it?
Well, you know, story's a really big deal to us. We created this with Lucasfilm. We got to keep a really tight lip on it. So I can't. I don't really want to go into it too far.
Go home.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, the story.
Gotta save it.
Okay. I know one of the things a lot of people have been asking, right? I'd put up stuff on Instagram saying, hey, give me questions. Community wanted to know, this is Star Wars canon, right? You
Totally canon.
Okay.
Totally legit.
Okay.
This is a real, Cal's a real character.
Yeah.
You saw Guerrero.
I thought that kind of goes without saying at this point, doesn't it?
You know, obviously part of the Star Wars universe.
I mean, ever since The Force
Seer, Cal's
Awakens.
mentor,
Yeah.
they're all going to live in other places.
Okay, that's great. Vince, how's that feel? No pressure.
It feels great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we have.
You act like it's so nonchalant.
Well, I guess maybe it doesn't because, I mean, Battlefront is not much you can do to make that
It's
canon.
amazing. Like I said, I'm just like.
It's not really meant to be, is it? Well, I mean, besides the story mode in 2, which I always forget exists because who cares?
The other big community question I've seen a lot is, it's a Star Wars game, and Star Wars games in the past have allowed us to go light or dark. Is that a choice here?
No.
Okay, well. Why not?
It's not an RPG.
Because.
That's not the kind of game they're making. Who cares?
No, I think it goes back to the fact that Cal's authentic, and he has to fill a certain role so he can be used in other places.
Yeah, this
That's
is
such a dumb
Well,
question.
that's the thing I appreciate the most, is that you guys are coming in and telling a story, right? Like, I think that's why so many of us are excited for it, is the idea that this is a Star Wars story, that you guys have something to tell, something to say, and a lot of walls to run on. Vince and Stick, anything you want to say to the fans before we let you go?
I mean, just thanks for the support. The energy here is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We're
Fantastic.
Greg's showing us
Thanks for
some
coming
stuff
out.
online. Like everyone, the reaction is fantastic.
Amazing, amazing moment.
The team, badass. Thank you guys.
Yeah, go team.
All your hard work. Now we just have to finish. Can't wait to bring it to you guys. There's so much more that you haven't seen yet. I can't wait to show you.
Believe it or not, there's so much more. There is more at the Microsoft conference tomorrow.
That's right.
Vince,
Well, that
thank you
explains the
so much for
Xbox
coming out.
branding.
November 15th can't come soon enough. For those of you
November
here at
5th.
EA
There's
Play,
like
the
3
Respawn
other
team has brought
massive
even
games
more
come out in
gameplay to check
November.
out over in the Star Wars
Like
Jedi Fallen Order theater.
Shenmue
And for those
3,
of you at
Death
home,
Stranding,
Extended.
and the new Pokemon are all coming out
For
in
those of you at
November.
home, you will stay tuned for Apex
And
Legends.
they're like, no, no, buy this kind of generic looking Star Wars game that looks just like
Thank
The
you for
Force
yell. I was
Awakens and
like, that's
Jedi
the
Knight.
corniest joke I put in this thing. No one's gonna laugh.
which I still
Everybody,
haven't
I'm
played
Greg
that
Miller.
much
Thanks
of
so much
anyway,
for
so
watching.
I'd
We got more.
probably be
EA
better off
Play
playing
for you
those.
now.
But I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just not exactly captivating my imagination. I was more excited for Battlefront. Well, you know, the EA's Battlefront one when that came out. I mean, was first teased before it came out.
How hyped are we for Star Wars? Let's hear it!
Oh my god.
So
Are
hyped.
you okay?
Hype mode,
Do you need a
engaged.
do you need a
That's actually line
lozenge?
to engage about.
Do you need a strepsil?
Anyway, so big thanks to Vince and Stig for sharing that exciting deep dive into Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We're all a little bit too excited here, I'm not going to lie. I'm Julia Hardy, and a little later on, Adam Freeman and I will be bringing you news on Battlefield 5. Yeah? Right now, though, EA Play is in full swing with gamers getting their hands on all kinds of exclusives. There's a lot to look forward to, starting with our next show, Apex Legends. So Alex Goldenboy Mendez is bringing you
Fortnite,
the
but
hottest
brown.
news on Apex Legends Season
No,
2.
I shouldn't
We've got
be
info
like
on a
that.
new
I've never
weapon,
played
new
Apex
battle pass, new
before.
mode, and a reveal of the 10th
I've
Legend.
heard a lot of people think
Stay
it's a lot
tuned,
better
because
than the
Apex
most
Legends is moments away.
Battle Royale games, but I don't know. Battle Royale never appealed to me that much, but mostly, I think it's mostly just because I suck at it. Because I played a little bit of the Battle Royale mode in Rec Room. For all that's worth, that's a completely different experience than an actual, you know, shooter with a keyboard and mouse or whatever. But, or a controller. And like Tetris 99, even that, I'm not great at that either. mean, these are all mostly games that are already out. Besides, like, I don't know about the sports stuff, but well, I guess it's 2020, so it probably isn't yet. It's not like even the 2020 games usually release like late 2019. You know, I mean, they usually release late the year before, and not just with games, even like Guinness World Record books and things like that are yeared. But most of these, other than the sports stuff, which I'm not that interested in it, well, I'm not interested in it at all, really. Everything just it's like, just, and that thing that we just watched, everything just looks like updates for the games that are already out, that I'm not really that interested in. Except for Sims 4, but Sims 4 is like, I mean, I've only just got it for free.
Apex Legends here at
Through
EA
this,
Play. I'm professional esports
I don't know,
commentator Alex
some kind of
Oldboy
promotion they were doing. There was kind of a workaround thing. You had to add the Sims 4 to your wish list on Origin, and then if it's on your wish list, you can get it for free. But if it's not on your wish list, you can't. It's really strange.
That's right. I like that. Like that, baby. Bring that energy. We got some exciting details to share on Apex Legends.
But I've heard Sims 4 seems like it's one of the worst ones.
Weapon, a new mode.
Like, I love 1 and 2.
Excuse me, an imprise. You hear me? I'm improvising. An improved battle
And
pass,
3, I've heard 3 does a lot of significant improvements. I just never got the chance to play it.
Let's jump out of this drop ship.
But 4, I remember when 4 launched and all these, so many complaints.
I'm Respawn's community manager, Jay Frechette. And
I mean, I guess it's good if they're trying to make it better, but they're all via all these big paid expansions, which is usually the case for The Sims. But if they're for things that should have been in the game to begin with, that were in other, you know, base versions of other numbered Sims games to begin with, it's not pretty.
The legendary hunt has begun. Legends can compete to enter an all-new Apex Elite queue, complete challenges for exclusive cosmetics.
I could do this all day.
Earn XP and battle pass boosts, and find all
I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what any of this is. I don't play this game.
Only the strong will winner and slaughter. For a limited time, legends who place
I'm gonna look up when the Nintendo thing is.
earn the right to join the Apex
You know, I'm just gonna mute my mic so the keyboard doesn't clatter around everywhere.
There, they will have
Oh,
the
okay. The
opportunity
mute
to test
button
their skills
on this mic is a bit
face to
iffy.
face against
Let's
the
just
most
mute it in
talented
OBS.
legends in the game.
One more. A legend's true test is from within.
Additionally, legends can complete legendary hunt challenges to earn rewards, like the epic Master of the Hunt Bloodhound, the Wolfpack G7,
Not your day. I won this one.
and hunt down 2 wins to score the exclusive legendary Tamed Beast triple take.
Trust in the gods and you shall be rewarded.
Opening fire. Got him. During the event, all Battle Pass owners will receive the free legendary
4 a.m.
R301. Hit level 15 on your Battle
It's now 3 a.m. and my sleep schedule is totally fucked no matter what I do.
You know what I look like. Come find me.
So yeah, I'll probably... I think it's Smash the first one? Because if it is, I'll probably watch that.
Thank you for the fun fight.
And we're doubling down with our first ever double XP weekend.
One moment.
From June 7th to June 9th, earn double XP on both your base and Battle Pass progression.
Our destiny has led us to this.
In the meantime, what do I do?
Throughout the event,
Do you want to keep watching this stuff and I have no idea what's happening? I'm not even really paying attention.
Legendary hunt cosmetics.
Maybe I should just stream a game for a bit or something.
Squad up and drop in, as the legendary hunt won't last forever. Good luck, legends.
Let the hunt begin.
That's right, until June 18th, you can jump into the Legendary Hunt, our limited time event that features the debut of our Elite Queue, exclusive challenges you can unlock, and some killer skins and more. Also, this weekend is double XP weekend, so there's lots of great reasons to jump in. The community really brought it since this event launched, and it's awesome to see the best duke it out. Back to you, Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that. Appreciate it. All right. That was season 1.
They're not that interested either.
I like that.
Oh.
So, you know.
Or was I not?
listen,
Was I just not
this
paying
game every
attention?
day.
Were they
It's
doing
one
a
of my
thing where it's
favorites.
like,
I did this,
look at
like,
the new
right
thing,
before
it's
the show
better.
started. That's how
Don't
much
applaud the
I
old thing. Or was I just not?
you know,
I
I'm gonna
wasn't
jump
paying
back into
attention.
the stuff, but
I probably should be. I'm looking through my Steam library thinking, should is that something I can play until the Nintendo thing starts?
And joining me, we
Because
got
this
Drew
is
McCoy in the house, ladies and
not what I
gentlemen.
was expecting. But hey, I mean, I suppose it's good that I streamed this just to test it all out. Like to test out the streaming. I know I'm streaming at 720, 30, watching the stream at, which I think is at 720, 60 right now.
So season 2, it's
Let me
coming
just check.
July 2nd, and it's called Battle
I
Charge.
know it's 1080, 60.
So Battle Charge.
So assuming the quality hasn't been.
What can we expect though?
I don't. Yeah, it's not set to auto.
Yeah, so as we announced when we launched the game,
Like I thought it was. So I've been streaming with 0 dropped frames, according to OBS anyway.
With some other stuff along the way, but what you can expect from the launch is a new
For like 50 minutes, and most of that I've been watching. I've had this 1080 stream running.
And a lot of this has been done through a lot of the feedback from community.
And
we're also
the Twitch
changing
back
up some of the meta balance
dashboard
of
saying my
weapons
stream's
to
fine.
try
All right,
and
cool.
Buff up some of the weaker weapons and bring a lot of cool stuff in the game.
So I guess this isn't something I really need to worry about.
It's a lot. We're going to talk about a good.
Maybe next time I stream some games, and I'm, you know, after E3, I might try upping the quality of the stream. See if my internet can do 720 60 or 1080 30 or something like that. I don't know.
Care package touching down. They usually carry rare platforms.
Elstar here. I am taking fire, friends. I bathe in the blue. Your ignorance meets your end. Need help. Good job, me. A new season. Strong work. Hostile over there.
Frag out. Wicked. Making contact with enemy. Accept it, I'm here. You're not.
There you have it, the L-Star, man. I remember getting slapped by this gun in Titanfall 2, so pretty excited to see this one make it into the fold in the arena. Seems really powerful. So tell me more about its place in the entire weapon loadout for Apex Legends.
Yeah, so the L-Star's new. It's coming. Launch of Season 2. It's actually a care package weapon because it's so OP.
Okay.
It's just amazing. But
Glad you said that out front.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like the master for the Kraber. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And being a care package weapon, it doesn't use any of the existing ammo on the ground, so whatever you get with it is what you got.
I also noticed, too, it shattered through doors.
Yeah, it can open
All
doors.
right.
So, like, melees, grenades, and now...
I'm gonna try something.
Wow, okay, so that is
Yeah,
pretty
mate.
sizable. Now, what other changes are going to be coming to weapons? Because and this may seem very nerdy, but I'm a huge fan of hop-ups. I'm all about Prowler with my switch fire. That's my jam.
Yeah.
What are you bringing me?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, there's going to be some meta changes to the weapons. We're trying to bring up some of the weaker weapons. And then, yeah, there are 2 new hop-ups coming. Not really going to say what they are yet. You guys got to wait for Season 2. But there is a chance that maybe a memeable weapon named after an African country is usable.
Is usable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps.
All right, perhaps. I mean, that is...
I'm sorry, did I hear memeable based on an African? They're not making a fucking Ugandan Knuckles weapon, are they? I swear to God. What the fuck?
Have the Battle Pass, and
I didn't mishear that right.
Battle Pass, you said that it was a learning experience.
Memeable
What's different this
African
time around for
country.
Season 2?
Yeah, so we've been listening to community a lot. Season 1 didn't
What?
launch as well as we were hoping.
No way.
content was
I
fairly
mean,
limited
like, it's
players,
not
so
like
we've
they'd
been
actually
taking
have
that
something
in.
worked out with Sega anyway, especially not after that meme and the kind of bit of controversy about whether it was racist or not, but Sega probably wouldn't want anything to do with that.
Battle Pass. So
Probably
first
just
off
vague
the bat,
references.
It's challenge-based now instead of essentially
Still, what the hell?
time-based. So you'll get daily and weekly challenges, and they stack if you don't play for a while.
I want to
So you
go.
can
I
come
almost want to
after
go
a
back
month
and listen to that again. I
and
won't
try
because I
knock
can't be
them all out on
bothered.
the weekend
But
and level up really quick. Ultimately, this does mean leveling to level 100 is a lot quicker than in Season 1. We're also getting rid of all the badges and stat trackers, taking up space throughout the leveling process. And we are inserting 3 entirely new content types into the Battle Pass, which we will talk about later. And there's a lot more skins in it, and there's going to be enough crafting metals by the time you hit level 100 to craft your very own legendary of your choosing.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of
All right.
value for that battle pass.
Yeah, that sounds very.
Let's get scratching.
You like Outrun? How do you feel about Outrun? Let's play some Outrun. Once I get the right layout up. There you go. I've got way too many scenes in OBS, and that makes everything more confusing than it needs to be. I'm not sure if the Steam controller is set up properly to run with this game, so let's find out. Oh, and I'll have a look in here. Actually, yeah, I haven't set this up at all with the Steam controller, so if we just... Well, turn on third-party overlay so you can see this stuff. Because I'm a very big fan of the Steam controller. And couldn't hurt to try setting this game up. So I want clicking the right touchpad to work like for the right stick, but I want to click instead of actually swiping. But it's only an up-down thing, like a digital thing for this game. It's just up and down to change gears. I suppose I could just map that to the face buttons. That might be better, actually. Yeah. The Steam controller is probably not the best controller for this game, but it's just what I've got lying around. Just change the game real quick on Twitch. Even though it's technically doing both. Or just go update. And just have to make sure the window's selected. You want you to be a D-pad, I believe. And yeah, up. I think I need to use the actual controller for this to work properly. Up is up on the stick. Down. It's down on the stick. No overlap needed. Last click on. That should work okay. And then... yeah, you're off. Oh, why don't I just do this? So... the grips aren't being used, so I can just have the grips be change gears. That might be awkward though. I don't think I played this much with the Steam controller. Just play in ordinary outrun mode, I guess. Play an easy vehicle, because I'm rusty. Yeah, let's just go with automatic for now. And then we've gotta remember what the controls are, because it only shows keyboard controls on screen for this. I'll just use the keyboard, fuck it. Best song in the game. Hands down. And this will help me see where the game's HUD is, and then I'll move the window around for the little EA window. You know what, that's... might not... oh, actually no, it'd be better in the bottom corner for this game, wouldn't it? Hold on. Thing... Twitch down here, how about that? There we go. Get it a smidge bigger because I can. And There you go, how's that?
Get ready.
Oop. Use the mouse for a second.
Get ready.
Again, just like the Sonic Adventure 2 stream, that Steam controller might, it's a bit clicky, so that's probably going to come up on stream in the audio. You want to slipstream off as many cars as you can, not just because it makes you go faster, but because you get double the points for passing them. That's one of the... And then hitting them gives you half points, whether you slipstream or not. That's the real trick to getting a high score in this game, is to try to do that as much as you can. And then the rivals, they're a lot harder to pass, so they give you a lot more points. But that also has the same issue of, you know, if you slipstream them double, if you don't pass... Well, I just heard a Streamlabs notification. I haven't gotten one of those before. And I can't see what it is. This is gone. God damn it. What was it? Yeah, what happened? I don't know. I'm still new to streaming. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'll turn studio mode off and make you bigger. Oh, someone's hosting me. All right. Well, thank you, whoever you are. Digital Duck. Thank you. Being my first ever host. Maybe, can you set it to auto host based on what game someone's playing? Because I know this is kind of a cult classic, so... Maybe someone maybe someone set it up to auto host people playing this game and I'm the only person playing it right now. Oh. Yeah, I'm very rusty. It's interesting playing a driving game like this, because usually they're more about you know, coming in first place or whatever. This isn't really a racing game. It's like you're racing the clock, you've got all these points. It's more of like trying to get a high score. Something I really like about Outrun. Even though this one added, well, not this specific version of Outrun 2, but one of the versions of Outrun 2 added rivals. That's still... Oh god, I'm doing very badly. Despite that, it's still, you know, nice just trying to drive well, not worrying about trying to win a race, but just trying to be, I don't know, good in general and kind of focusing more on score than some kind of an opponent. Again, I'm just going to keep going easy, because as you can see, I'm very rusty, as I've said over and over again.
How far are you going to take me?
So this game's made by Sumo, who's the same company that also makes the Sonic racing games, like Racing Transformed and Team Sonic Racing and all that. And so the first time I got into one of Sumo's Outrun games, I was drifting like a lot. Because the thing about those Sonic games, or the Sega games, you know, Sonic and Sega, whatever, is that they... What do they do? Forgot what I was saying. I was focusing on the game a bit there. Right, so like just like Mario Kart, like a lot of newer Mario Karts especially, you get boosts by drifting. But drifting is super responsive and easy to do in those games, so you want to drift as much as you can, because that's just basically the way you go faster, is to just drift, even if you've got a straight. If you got a straight track and it's wide enough, just drift back and forth. You know, not to the level of Mario Kart Wii snaking or anything. It's not broken in that way. But drifting as much as possible to get those boosts is kind of the way to play that. So I kind of, knowing that this is, I think I knew in advance that this was made by the same company. So I was thinking that's how you're supposed to play this as well. Not the first time I played this. The first time I played some version of Outrun 2 was a demo on the PS2 when I was a kid, on one of those demo discs. I enjoyed that a lot, and that's how I learned this version of Magical Sound Shower. That was my first experience with this series in general. Oh, by the way, I love the cardboard cutout people and the way they kind of jiggle around in the background. But the first time I seriously got into Outrun was online arcade on the 360. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit there. Hope that's okay. And yeah, when I first got into it on the 360, I was just drifting back and forth everywhere. Oh, hold on. For fuck's sake. Okay, so I was gonna... Apparently you're not allowed to restream the Nintendo tournaments. According to Donnie from Sonic Paradox. That's no good. Which means I might get into trouble if I stream that, and that's concerning. So now I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. So I've got another half hour. I'll keep an eye on Twitter. Oh, Fallen Order's the same day as Sword and Shield, not just the same month. Shit, I haven't really been paying that close attention to the dates, because they're kind of far away. Looks like Battlefield's coming up on the stream. Let's see if I can do something about, so I can, because I can't really see this the A stream very well myself. I basically just stood it up so you can see it on the stream. I can't actually see it myself very well at all. But I'm worried about if I move it around, and move the window around, it might mess up the stream layout. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that didn't go well at all. Okay. Alright, pick a different song. Oh, we've got a trailer. Maybe I should switch back to that. I should have made it so I can switch back quickly. I didn't really think about that very thoroughly, did I? Oh no, no, there's no trailer. Never mind. It is someone talking. Okay, what I'll do is I'll duplicate in OBS, reference, duplicate this, so then I can more quickly turn it on and off on top. So I can then do that, or I can do, I'll have to, yeah, the way I've got this set up's kind of a pain. Takes too long to switch stuff around. Maybe I should come up with another way to do all these layouts. So yeah, it takes a minute to switch things around. Alright, there's some kind of trailer happening. Let's have a look. Kinda... There we go.
You'll deploy on a sloping mountain ridge.
This is Battlefield 5, isn't it? Isn't Battlefield 5 already out? So I guess they're not doing a new Battlefield this year, they're just adding something to the existing game. I haven't played much Battlefield at all. I played a little bit of one of the Xbox Live Arcade ones. I think it was 1943 or something. Like, I think the original Battlefield, or one of the original ones, was 1942. And then the Xbox Live Arcade one was 1943.
Tanks and aircraft will stand aside for intense infantry gunfights and sneaky flanks in the cobbled streets. Hills and multi-story homes means unique vertical gameplay. Stay alert in this steep environment as the battle of...
Yeah, I guess a gigantic battlefield with all the different vehicles and all that stuff never quite enjoyed that as much as the smaller, more I guess you could say personal battles.
Please welcome Ryan MacArthur from DICE.
Of well, to use a similar game as an example of something like Call of Duty. But I never really liked Call of Duty's multiplayer either. Like, I love shooters, but I'm mostly more, I guess, less realistic. Well, not, I don't even want to say realistic, but, you know, realistic styled, I guess. You know, you go down very quickly, and you gotta...
on the Albanian-Greece border, sort of in the mountains.
Like I'd rather play, like, Doom, or Halo, or Overwatch, TF2, Half-Life. Quake. That's the kind of shooter I'm into. You know, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark.
It's quite a different experience than Mercury.
Not so much the kind of iron sightsy sort of thing that like you get from Battlefield and Call of Duty, and like low health. So like if someone gets you from behind in COD, you're basically done.
I love that. Creative chaos. Yeah.
So what we get there is just head-on, just collisions in the middle of this map, and it's sort of what we try to do with all the new maps that we've created, spending a lot of time to figure out how do we make each one of them different. So when players go in and play one of these new maps, it sort of has a different feel than the ones they've played before to sort of create that different experience for them. So this one has, I guess for lack of a better way to put it, is sort of a banana shape to it, and that banana shape sort of. Well, I think fruit's important when you're doing game design, I think. Obviously, and so the shape gives you sort of a variety of different play styles and sort of creates this sort of narrow channels for people to just run head on into each other, which really creates that chaos that is Battlefield. But
that's what we want, though. That's what we want, that kind of chaos. But most importantly, we need to know, like, we could talk all day, but when can we get our hands on it? That's what we want to know, right?
Yeah, and I think the great thing for this is coming in July as part of Chapter 4, so stay tuned. And I think some people are going to get to play it while they're here today.
Ooh, lucky you. All right, Freeman, who's we've stuck up there for no other reason than, well, my own entertainment, has more on Chapter 4 for you. Over to you, Freeman.
I'm up here PTFOing. I don't know what you're giving out to me, Julia.
Yeah, I just want to switch back to Twitter for a sec.
We have more maps. So let's deliver a brand new one to you. This is Al Sundan. It's coming in Chapter 4.
Oh, never mind, something's happening.
The fight moves to the North African desert in a vast new map for Battlefield 5.
No.
Al Sundan. Prepare to engage alongside a lush desert coast.
All right, anyway, I'm going to switch to Twitter.
Environments. Axis forces have militarized the area
Because...
with camps, a radar
there's
tower,
something I wanted
and
to
an
show.
airbase. You must fight over possession of these critical points. In Al Sundan, we've taken the vista used in a single-player war story under no flag and doubled down on air and land vehicles.
This makes a really good point.
With this, the location has been optimized for all.
Oh, I don't have it set up. Ah, put it in the wrong window. What am I doing? I forgot how do you
With
Twitch?
large distances, vehicle-based team play, and battles across ranges, you'll always have plenty of choices.
Okay.
Use of this sandbox to
But how my
secure
own
the
setup
win.
works.
Utilize vehicles, mounted
I'm gonna
guns,
turn
planes,
on-
and transports. Capture the strategic
Turn off
airfield
studio
to
mode,
dominate
doesn't
the
really work,
sky,
does it?
or
Turn you
engage
on.
in fast-paced infantry battles in
There you
tight
go.
interior areas.
Now it's working.
Al Sundan is classic.
Where's Anthem?
We can't wait to let
I did not play Anthem. But it really should be here, shouldn't it? I mean, it's meant to be one of these big, games with all this new content, you know, like what are they called? Like games as a service
That's amazing.
bullshit.
So obviously Al Sundan was adapted from Under No Flag. So tell us a little bit
And
about
this is what
that
most of this
process
stream
was
has
like.
been
Yeah, so
from
usually,
EA. It's
you know, when
mostly
the
just
guys
been games as a
when the
service
teams sort of
stuff.
focus on building these war stories. They want to create these nice narrative, linear experiences. And, sort of
And
tell
I
the
switched the
story
wrong
of
thing, and I
World
keep
War
on forgetting
II.
I turned studio mode
but
off.
with Under No Flag, they sort of took a little bit of a different approach.
Where is
They
it?
sort of made this big, wide open experience. And that showed a lot of potential.
I'm a fan of Mass Effect. Like, I haven't played much of BioWare stuff from before that, but I love Mass Effect.
And sort of a small group of them and take
I haven't played Andromeda, but I want to. I want to like get the PS4 version because then I can play it without any of the
Your
updates,
sort of classic Battlefield sandbox.
and then just explore all the glitches and just go nuts. Like I love to play broken glitchy games that are like so bad it's good. Like I love Sonic 06 for that reason. I love Superman 64 in some ways because it's just funny and stupid.
So how do I kind of adjust
So it'll be
my
one day,
strategies
maybe
if
I'll
it's
stream
such a
it. I don't know,
wide map, like
but it'll
what
be
would
really
they-
interesting one of these days to get around to playing Mass Effect Andromeda and just not using any of the updates, so none of the bugs are fixed, and just having a fun, stupid ass time with it.
Infantry gameplay, and I think Mr. Battlefield the other day decided to just sit there with his tank and destroy me.
But yeah, Anthem, when Anthem came, Anthem seemed okay when it was first announced, and then actually came out, and it seems like it was kind of, like I didn't play it again, but it seems like it's kind of okay, kind of like really grindy and dull. Like it looks fucking beautiful, but it doesn't seem like it plays in a way that's all that interesting.
Nice, nice. Now we've got a couple more surprises to come, but before we get into all that, let's take a look.
So yeah, I'm worried about the future of BioWare. They're probably going to get shut down like every EA studio does, eventually. And I know that's not exactly an original thought. I know a lot of people have brought that up already. Countless people.
By popular demand.
But yeah, I feel sorry for people that are more familiar with BioWare stuff than I am, that have played like all the older stuff. Because these are, it's like me with Rare in some ways, because I grew up with the 64. Like Banjo-Kazooie was like the first game I ever played, I think. I don't really remember very well, but my mum tells me it's the first one we at least had at our place for Christmas one year. So like, and that's a company that, it was bought up and then it kind of, now it's not really what it used to be anymore. Like I haven't played Sea of Thieves, I've heard mixed things about it. But even if Sea of Thieves was absolutely incredible, it wouldn't be the same people, it's not Rare anymore. Even Platonic, that's debatable if that's Rare anymore, because I kind of forgot how to make a 3D platformer. They forgot what made Banjo great when they tried to make a new Banjo, or, quote-unquote Banjo. But yeah, BioWare, I get the feeling that people that have more experience with BioWare are probably in the same boat. They would have played, I can't even remember what half the games they made are now off the top of my head. Of, like they would have played Knights of the Old Republic, maybe as a teenager or something. Like if they're close to my age, they could have played that in original Xbox when I had a GameCube and the PS2. Oh, PC, it's on PC as well. They could have grew up with games like that, and then they could have loved Mass Effect, and then saw Mass Effect become something very different as it become further and further away from RPG and became more like a shooter by 3. And then Andromeda's just a fucking mess. It must be heartbreaking seeing this company change into something that's just a shell of what it used to be. So even if it sticks around, even if EA, I mean, doesn't close BioWare at all, it's still not really going to be the BioWare that a lot of people want it to be, and it probably never will be. And that's really sad.
I mean, what kind of the sort of like key strategies then when you're playing close quarters on this map?
You know, as we see with these smaller game modes, I mean, the key to this is just really good team play, really good squad play.
Oh,
So, you know, sticking together.
switch to a new tab and the Nintendo thing's starting, but...
I mean, what if you want to...
Okay. It's Mario Maker they're starting with.
It's two beautiful maps.
It'd just be a spinning number plate.
Well, Mario Maker 2.
It's serenity, beautiful Nordic countryside.
Okay, let me look up this restreaming thing.
Gunfire and everything amongst villas and factory equipment. And then Provence, you know, I plan to take my wife there, you know, pastis on the square.
Stop destroying places you want to take your family. It's weird.
I'll take Ryan.
Yeah, take him instead and then go to town.
But it's beautiful cobblestones, you know, lots of good flanking routes, and it's the smaller maps really allows you to master every inch of it. So it's really about, you know, knowing your battlefields.
I mean, again, we could go on and on to about all of these maps, but we've got one more map to show off, and I want to make sure we have time to get through it. But first, Lars, you've brought with him some news about some kind of core gameplay updates we know that you've all been waiting for, so you're excited about this one.
Lars, you know how much time I'm spending online. Like,
I mean,
I am working.
Just Battlefield, or let's not delve.
Big community features we've announced this month. Increase the max rank.
I'm not finding anything about it when I look it up. It's just this one person I don't know who's involved with video game news and stuff. Who usually knows what they're talking about. It's just this one person who said something about it.
Too skilled, who maxed out on rank 50.
Was it a risk I really want to take?
We've taken that to heart, and we've now taken the max rank from 50 to 500. So it's quite a leap. And it's
Battlefield 500 now.
It's a privileged journey for our players to go on, moving forward.
And it's a grind train, but what are people getting if they're on it?
Yeah, what are we getting?
We're all in it. You know, we want the goodies. So to start with, already from rank 51, you will be granted company coins for every rank up. But then at every, we call them milestone ranks, you know, every 50th rank, you will get one shiny new rank icon to show off your skills, and also a beautiful set of dog tags. So lots of ways of showing off your mastery on your journey towards, you know, that the world domination.
It's already happening.
I'm gonna see if I can work out what's going on a little bit more. See if anyone else is about to restream it on Twitch. If I just go to discover if there's anyone up with Nintendo stuff. It looks like... yeah, like I'm just seeing EA stuff. Well, there's someone who's about to watch the Mario one instead. Yeah, I'm not hearing any problems from anyone else. Let me check the account for this one person I was worried who was saying stuff about it then. Because I know the actual event hasn't started yet, but we've got streamers up with like the you know, the stream starting soon, like tournament rules screen. Maybe he's elaborated. Or people have responded to him. No, that doesn't help. Alright, what are Easy Allies doing? Yeah, they're just watching EA. This is coming up, maybe Nintendo. Okay, I don't know what to do anymore. I think I'm just gonna take a break for a minute.
Let's get scratching. 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 get scratching. Let's get scratching. Let's get scratching. Let's get scratching.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk it right now. All really don't want my account to be taken down and get into trouble for like the second stream I've ever done on here. So if this ends up going on YouTube, then I'll probably just edit it in. Like I'll just download the YouTube upload from Nintendo themselves and edit it over this, and you'll still be able to get my reactions. I'll just have to go switch to Nintendo now so I can actually see what's going on myself. But
however,
unfortunately, you guys aren't going to be able to.
the first time, you've never seen these levels
For now, I might switch it back. I might actually, like, we'll see if
Describe it as instincts versus
if I see enough people restreaming it and not getting in trouble for it. If I hear anything more about this issue, then I'll maybe do something different.
Learn by messing up, or do you instead take a little bit?
Maybe
spend
then
30
I'll
seconds here
put
to
the
save
stream
yourself a minute
video
down
on
the
if that
line?
happens.
We'll talk about that theme of risk versus reward all throughout the competition, and Vish handling the different physics of the different Mario genres. You're going to be controlling a
What?
Mario from one universe as you handle
That's not what
obstacles
genres
that maybe
are.
appeared in a different Mario universe. How do these
That's not
players
what the word
adapt all
genre
the physics
means.
are going to be?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to experience at the
And I
end.
thought the thing with Mario Maker is that they all controlled like New Super Mario Brothers games. They just like all the physics of those. They just had
You're gonna have an easier
like
time
graphics
dealing with
and
all the,
other like stage elements from the other
enemies on
ones.
the fly, right? Like you're gonna be speedrunning it, so you don't have that much time to adapt and react. So your experience is really gonna come in the clutch in these clutch moments.
And these courses are going to be very exciting. They were designed by our good friends at Nintendo Treehouse. We know they have been done with care and love as well, too. A lot of emotion put into these courses. But let's go ahead and take a moment to meet our 4 competitors in the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019.
So what's going through your mind while you're playing?
Well,
Let's see if there's anyone I recognize. Yep, there's one. Gerard. I suppose I should probably say what's happening. Even though if anyone does watch this, I really should just have the video from the other thing up. Wait, is it only 4 people? Or is it just some other thing? These aren't actually... Oh wait, no, there's multiple teams, aren't there?
So what's going through your mind while you're playing?
Or is this not...
It's complicated.
Maybe that's just one of the teams.
4 terrific speedrunners that have had plenty of experience in the Mario universe. To see the completionist, Abdallah, the Dragon
I never really thought of Gerard as a speedrunner.
We were having some breakfast
But,
earlier.
I mean, I know he
They're
streams, but I don't
excited for
really...
this. They feel like there's
I haven't
a
been
clear
watching
favorite
those, so
amongst
who
the 4 of
knows?
them, though.
Yes, they do. 3 of the 4 selected Dragon Feeny as the favorite. The one who did not was Dragon Feeny herself, ever the humble competitor. But that first round is going to be really important because whoever wins that is going
You know, I
to
suppose with a
choose
game
their
like Mario
partner, and
Maker,
it
it's
might
not
be
really a
Dragon
team-based...
And Vish, we
Oh no,
were
there is the
highlighting some
new
of the
co-op
new
mode or
features
whatever.
in Super Mario Maker 2 as opposed to Super Mario Maker. What are
So
some
maybe
things
it's
we
these
might
4 competing
possibly
against
see
each
these
other.
Players see the courses for their very first time.
Well, the big thing is there's a new game mode. Like there's a whole new game type with Mario 3D World. So you might see a Meowser, you might see Cat Mario. There's all sorts of new contraptions in the fray for this new Mario Maker. Aside from that, you have things like slopes, you have things like parachutes that are just going to add a new little element of surprise. And these players are going to have to deal with that on the fly while getting their best time possible. It's going to be a fun ride.
Well, as you look at Abdallah and the completionist, you'll notice that they've got face masks on. They've got noise-canceling headphones on.
There's,
look
there's
at
little
that.
noses and mustaches are fucking adorable.
Right there. Bestest buddies. It's okay. You can smile, completionist. You're here having fun right now. He can't hear me. Those work very well. I
Doesn't
like that.
doesn't
So they
really
obviously
work
won't
with
get a chance to be
if it
able to
doesn't
sneaky
cover your
sneaks and
actual
see the level
nose.
as it gets played. As we get set for Yellow Killer Bee and the Dragon Feeny to take place here, we mentioned those new features and that risk reward as far as how fast you want to go through this 9 versus maybe I dip my toe in the pool rather than take a cannonball because I'm not sure what's coming next.
It's all about creativity, too, and adapting on the fly. As a couple of you have said, you can take maybe one path and try it a certain way. Maybe that doesn't work. So the second time, you might try it again. But that third time, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you got to change the game plan a little bit.
And Vish, it's one thing when you're back in the comfy confines of your living room or your bedroom playing this game and getting a chance to hit the reset button if you struggle, but you're on a big stage here right now. We've got a fantastic audience in the crowd getting set to watch this. We've got a lot of people watching this and through the stream and everything as well too. The nerves that might be going through these players real quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big stage like you mentioned, and it's the first time that we're seeing Super Mario Maker 2 in a stage like this. And from talking to the players, they don't have too much experience on a stage like this, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they deal with the nerves and playing like a technical game like Mario Maker or Mario in general while you're speedrunning is going to be very, very crucial for them to not feel nervous in the middle of their runs.
Well, the wait is over. Let's hit the start button. The Dragon Feeny versus Yellow Killer V, our opening speed run in round 1 of the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Let's start the countdown. 2, 1, and go. As they get set, they'll be heading the start button at the same time. The Dragon Feeny on the left-hand side of your screen, Yellow Killer V on the right, and already 9. What genre of Mario are we seeing here?
God, stop calling it a genre, please. A genre of Mario. It's not. That's Mario fucking Tennis.
Ground pounded immediately goes to its full extent and unveils a new pathway.
The Dragon Feeny in early lead decides to go with the right path, and so does Yellow Killer V. And we see here, Fish, a couple of different paths in these exclamation blocks, providing a little bit of a challenge early on.
Yeah, this is the new feature, as Nine pointed out. So you want to be able to use the ground pound to get all of them fully expanded, and from there
We're
you
just
can make your way through this level.
updating the text here. I'm not really watching the stream. Whoops.
And definitely a little bit of a lead for Yellow Killer B, but I wonder how she's going to traverse through the rest of the stage now.
Yellow Killer B buzzing her way up towards the top. The Dragon Feeny trying to get a couple of those wall jumps. And the Yellow Killer B into the tube early on. And 9, here we go. Our first look at the car. Go ahead, strap in your seatbelt and get ready for some fun here.
Well, I think I've seen this before. The bounce and going all the way up here. This is all about conserving your momentum. The trick in this segment of the level is you can't mess up because you don't get a chance to build speed a second time.
Yellow Killer B driving underneath the thumb. Oh, no, there's a couple of springs. Has to make a U-turn and go back into traffic. Meanwhile, the Dragon Feeny on your left-hand side still trying to navigate those exclamation blocks.
Yeah, this guy's not genuine at all. This is...
A little collision coverage.
At least one of these guys is about as bad as some of the EA stuff.
And she's on to the next part here. And already, you see the different things that can be thrown at these players. Dragon Feeny deciding to go to the left, but Fish, Yellow Killer B, we've got Cat Mario right now.
Oh, Cat Mario is finally making his appearance, and I like it. I like that Dragon Feeny tried on the right side.
Are these meant to be, like, speedrunners and stuff and people that are good at Mario, or are they just random YouTubers? Like Gerard.
Killer B with a huge lead right now. That needs to use the crawl feature, the wall climb feature.
Because, like, I'm not... If this wasn't, like, a big, you know, event at E3, I wouldn't give a shit if someone's about the game, you know, good for them.
And 9, Yellow Killer B,
like, you know, that's not really what's important, especially not with a game like this.
Those springs can throw players
But
off quite a bit. When we talked to them prior to this, they said the one
what's with
obstacle they
this?
don't like are springs.
It was a universal answer.
Isn't this like a big, like, official competition? Your game's not even out yet. You'd think it'd... I don't know, I don't want to be mean and judgmental and tell people they suck at games, but, like... What's happened with this one on the left here?
Yellow Killer B scratching her way to the top, sees the tube at this point, and Yellow Killer B continues to extend her lead.
Again, this one person sounding overly excited.
More springs coming up here. Yellow Killer B trying to go
Considering that it's basically not even a competition right now.
I wonder if those coins should lead her there, Bish.
Right, yeah. It feels like you want to follow the coins typically when you see these kind of levels, and the arrows specifically. The on-off switch is a new feature here in this Mario Maker 2, which actually turns the directions of the conveyor belts. And Yellow Killer B makes it all the way to the finish line.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. Yellow Killer B, the first one to cross the finish line. Impressive right there. Dragon Feeny will have 30 seconds left to finish up the level. We see already these alternating pink and blue blocks. You have to have a lot of really precise timing with this here, 9.
Yep,
No,
you saw
I'm
right there. If you don't
sorry.
get the jump off at the right time, you will fall through. And that's the difference between
It just makes me
left
wonder
and
what
right
the
side.
stipulations
This
for
is more
picking people
timing-based,
for
whereas
this is.
that right side was about identifying which block you had to use.
Okay.
Oh, at least I got through that.
Some walls right there, hopping on top of those happy clouds, getting inside the tube. Yellow Killer B, meanwhile, just sitting back, chilling. She already crossed the goal. An impressive job by our first two speedrunners handling that. And
I should have
as
looked
we
up these
said,
names because I
Fish,
missed the
it's all
name of the
about
other
learning
one.
with the obstacles and adapting, and we saw that especially with Yellow Killer Bee as Cat Mario on that green moving platform. Seemed like she finally found her rhythm after a couple of tries.
Right. Yeah, it really is all about using the climb, I think, with Cat Mario, because you can go just a little bit higher and then from there jump to the next area and then do your wall jumps and whatnot. But I think it was very interesting that Dragon Fiend was stuck in that one area between the two different ways that she could have gone. And I think maybe if she had gone back to the mushroom trampoline a little bit earlier, it might have worked out well. Because some players are just better at certain aspects of the game.
And Nine, those exclamation blocks are very tricky, especially when you're trying to wall jump, because some of those blocks you have to hit, others they're not.
The Yellow
really
Killer
helping
Bee
out
is
too
actually a
much.
Mario
Again,
speedrunner
sometimes
by the looks
finding
of
out
it.
which of the blocks you need to hit is almost a luck-based thing, and not all of those blocks are created equal.
So
And
yeah,
really,
I feel like this would be unfair that other person, you know, isn't any of those things.
And you look at the pacing as well too.
Poor
It
thing.
just seemed like they weren't really hitting the brakes too much. A nice little rhythm, but they also didn't get themselves in too much trouble by going too fast.
Right. I think that's going to be the risk and reward that we're talking about a little bit. Because if you go all the way just holding right the entire time, there's going to be little traps and whatnot that could set you back. You might save 5 seconds, but lose 30 seconds in the long run. So I think just being a little cautious goes a long way in the end.
The Dragon Fiend and Yellow Killer Bee, our first two participants. Yellow Killer Bee crossing the finish line first. We'll get her official time for you here shortly to see what Abdallah.
Yeah, there's
and
Easy
the
Allies,
Completionist
just
have
they're
to get if
streaming
they
it with the
want to
video
be
on
in
no
first
problem.
place. Don't forget the winner of our opening round gets to choose their teammate for round 2. And this is where a little gamemanship comes in here, Nine, because you have to ask yourself, do I pick the strongest person to help me out in the second round, meaning I have a stronger opponent in the finals, or do I maybe pick somebody that struggled a little bit and maybe make my path in the finals that much easier?
Well, I've heard that some competitors might be maybe not trying 100% here in the early rounds just to make sure that they can throw people off here. So I think the games have already started, but you laid it out perfectly there. Are you assuming that you can get through that second round with a lesser teammate, or do you want to get there and let the championship round decide itself?
All right, let's get set for our next speed run here between Abdallah and the Completionist here as they get set for the same level we just saw. They haven't seen it yet. They were blindfolded and had the noise-canceling headphones on. They're excited. They're ready to roll. The crowd is hyped up. Here we go. Let's take
Here we go. Says someone else talking about how they can't
Super Mario
restream.
Maker 2 is part of our invitational.
Apparently
Let's get the
Trihex
countdown
isn't
rolling here in
either.
just one moment.
And Trihex, I think, was actually on stage at one of these events in the past.
And off we go, both players hitting start at the same time because they exercise good sportsmanship. That's what we like to see. And we saw earlier, there's a big blooper that comes out of the top question block, but we've got the Completionist. He's trying to complete the level already, Fish. It's all about the speed here, rather.
Yeah, that
He wants
sucks.
to make sure he hits all the little blocks as soon as he can, but he gets a little power up that the other players kind of avoided because they're going for the speedrun aspect, right? They're just trying to power through.
And Zero
again,
as
both
well.
Players going for the right side.
And that's what we see right here, Nine, taking that exclamation point. Maybe it's the big yellow blocks that just draw your attention.
All right.
But already the Completionist figuring out the trick of using that ground pound.
Hopefully just the audio should be fine.
Losing a life and having to go back to the beginning. Huge lead for the Completionist here now.
It is, and one more block we saw. This takes you almost right up. Can he complete the whole jump? Can he salvage this? It looks like he is. Great spin all the way through. What a fantastic save there by the Completionist. Checkpoint reached.
The aerial acrobatics to find himself in the cart portion at this point.
Yeah, Gerard's good at
As you
video
said,
games.
very precise jumps needed during this part if you want to avoid an accident. Those springs already trying to deter the Completionist. And you take a look on the side, on the left-hand
Like,
side.
regardless of what you think of the quality of, like, the videos, like, it's pretty clear that it takes a lot of fucking dedication to get look to 100% all those games and to make all those videos that quickly as well.
Those springs that we saw earlier there.
And, like,
and Abdullah not jumping also towards the end of that area.
it's crazy stuff. And with the drama with that guy Greg who was in his old videos, apparently he, like, is redoing a ton of his, or did at some point, I don't know, like redoing a ton of his videos without slowing down production on the ones that he was going to make otherwise. So there's like, out of nowhere, it's like he already works insanely hard and he's just like doubling the amount of stuff he's making. It's crazy. Wait, did I just say Gerard is good at games and I was looking at the wrong screen earlier?
thinks they're going to try it right here.
And that's a good point.
Well, I mean,
The
he is,
rhythm
but
that comes
still.
being on the left-hand side, a little bit more natural because those blocks move faster, but Vish, Abdallah struggling just a little bit with the block portion, giving the completionist some time to catch up, but looks like the completionist is just going for a joyride right now.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like Abdallah is just trying to remember how to play Cat Mario because he's doing the glide when he wants to do the wall climb and whatnot. And I think having those split mistakes every so often is really not going to be helpful in clearing a course like this that's very, very tight in terms of wall jumps.
And that's a good point, Nine. We were talking to Abdallah prior to this competition. He said the physics for Cat Mario, very tricky. He pointed that out, and early on already having to deal with it. Meanwhile, the completionist in the Cat Mario stage has a chance to catch up here.
It does. This is very close right here. Just one more jump, and the completionist will be really about even with them once they get to that checkpoint here. And I think Abdallah's starting to figure it out there. Instead of standing on top of that very slow green platform, instead maybe using it to try to climb up. But it looks like he's found another way. That creativity paying off.
Right. Slow and steady wins the race. With the green blocks, they do end up going slower, which allowed Abdallah to really think out what movements he wanted to do and do the climb right before his jump. So he will make it to the next portion here. And again, you got to follow those coins and you got to follow those arrows.
Abdallah at the end just has
This
to
Gerard's a
climb
little
those
confused
last
about how the
three
mechanics
jumps
are. Oh,
as
no,
we see
there you
here.
go.
There's one. There's
I'm not
two.
sure how it works either. I haven't played
Quick,
3D
that
World.
affects so many different things, but Cat Mario making. Oh no! Abdallah misses the exclamation mark. It had
I
to
was so
go
disappointed when 3D World was announced, and whatever E3 it was.
in the block portion. Is there enough time for him to catch up? Don't forget, they're racing our
Because before before the actual E3, when they showed the trailer, they said that this E3 there will be a new 3D Mario game for the Wii U.
30 more seconds for the completionist just to play around with Super Mario Maker 2 and have some fun
And then,
there.
you know, I was expecting something like what we ended up getting later, which was Odyssey. I was expecting something like that, you know, Sunshine, Galaxy 64, and then we got like, oh, it's just another 2D Mario game. It's just, but not in 2D. It's new Super Mario Brothers, but with an extra dimension.
3D World and Cat Mario trying to handle that. You've got springs, moving blocks, so many
So
things
yeah,
you
that
have to account for
sucked.
here, Nine.
Yes, and I think
Even though
that
the
right
game was
here, you do
apparently
see that
really
time
good, I
tick
still
away.
like,
It
I
really
was so
not
bitter about
understanding
that.
the Cat Mario
It just, it's
physics
never happened
that kinda
anyway.
threw him off there. There was a chance to climb the
I just
wall
never
early,
ended up
but
playing it
instead
either
looking
way.
for a more traditional wall jump.
But I was
I think
all over
maybe a
Odyssey.
little
That
more
game's fucking
familiarity, and that would've
amazing.
gone quick.
It's surprising how high Cat Mario can jump. A lot of
It's probably
times
like
you
my
have to
second
use that
favorite Mario
glide,
game next to
especially
Galaxy
portion
1.
Just to make your way on up, but that glide can really throw you off sometimes.
No, yeah, the Cat Mario definitely is a little bit difficult because in the portions like that, you're trying to just go and do the wall jump as soon as possible, but actually doing the climb just a little bit so you can time your jump and get a little bit more height is very crucial for that particular portion of the level.
So Abdallah wins the head-to-head matchup against the completionist. We do want to clean up one thing. In that prior race with Yellow Killer B and the Dragon Feeny, their graphics were on the incorrect side of the screen, so the Dragon Feeny actually winning that first round. And we'll see how her time stacks up.
Oh,
against
alright, so the one I just looked up, who's apparently a speedrunner, has all these good times, is the one who's making those mistakes. That's interesting.
Round, but already early on, Nine, we saw that
No,
on a
just
given level,
the pressure
you
of
go
being on
left or
stage and
right,
stuff must have gotten to
sometimes
an
choosing
end.
the right path that plays to your
Feel
strengths
bad now. Why didn't I think of that
It's all
before?
about the strengths.
Of
We
course.
saw trying to shift back over to the left side after
Fucking being
a little
watched
bit of
by how
troubles
many
on the
people?
right side there. That's where those split-second
Over
decisions come in.
32,000 on the Twitch stream
Players can
alone?
get through a level that they've never seen before. There really isn't that much room to mess up.
And you saw the Kart Mario portion in the car. Very difficult for the completionist at times because you have to maintain that momentum. Not much of a problem for Abdallah.
Yeah, no, the Cooper car is it's kind of difficult when you're not sure what's going to show up next, right? Because you have to keep your momentum, you have to keep your speed throughout that level, and then there's also one portion where you're not supposed to jump, where it's on the rest of it you're supposed to jump. So keeping all of that in mind is actually quite difficult as it's going so fast.
Well, let's take a look at the times after our first round in the 4 speed runs and see who had the fastest time. And it looks like the Dragon Feeny in 3:11, Abdallah 33 seconds behind. And you see Yellow Killer B and the completionist unable to finish due to the speed of the Dragon Feeny and Abdallah. And we've been told that the Dragon Feeny, for her teammate in round 2, has chosen Yellow Killer B. So interesting choice right there, but you saw Yellow Killer B wasn't too far behind the Dragon Feeny, and now they get set for the co-op.
Are you sure about
course.
that?
This is where communication comes in. It's so important.
Like,
and that
again, I'm not
cooperative
trying to
play
be
as well,
rude,
too.
but don't just flat out make stuff up. That was a pretty big guy.
A game like this, and it's really important
Sadly.
that someone, I think, becomes the shot caller in these situations. Some of these puzzles are going to really rely on somebody saying, all right, let's look at what we've got here. We're going to time this in 1, 2, 3, something along those lines, because we saw a little mess up can send you down far, and I have no doubt that this level is going to be the same way.
And I'm really curious who the little brother is between the Abdallah and Completionist, who's going to get that second controller that doesn't get used too much. It's been rolled up for a while as well, too. And you mentioned working together, and another fact of this game that we saw earlier in the first course, the on-off switch and how that might be implemented. Perhaps we see that more in these next couple of courses.
Yeah, it definitely will help out with the timing of things. You know, in a two-player mode, if you have on-off switches, one person might have to turn on the switch, the other person would have to adapt to what that changes in the course map. So I think that could be very tricky and very interesting to see in a game like this. But as Nine said, I think a lot of it's going to be coming down to timing and how well you communicate with your ally. So I think maybe part of the reason why Dragon Phoenix chose Yellow Killer Bee is perhaps, you know, they've been hanging out a lot throughout this weekend, so maybe they have some good synergy that might help them out at this next level.
Synergy, nice business word right there. I'll see that on my next PowerPoint presentation. And Nine, as you get set for co-op mode, and what we saw in this first course is, it's almost like you walk into a section of these courses and you have to perceive everything around you and figure out, how do I solve this puzzle? And now it's going to be implementing most likely that second player. It's not just something you can do by yourself while your partner kicks back and drinks some lemonade.
Well, you do have two people, so it should reason that you can now figure it out twice as fast or something like that. So the communication is going to be just as important as what's going on in the game itself.
And also just the execution of the different moves that Mario can do. We saw that with Cat Mario, some of these players struggling as well too. You have to be very familiar with these power-ups, and it looks like our teams are set to go. Round 2, our co-op course.
Okay, so this is only half an hour, but then the Splatoon one's for half an hour as well.
Yellow Killer Bee taking
Wait,
on
no, it's
Abdallah
not.
and the Completionist. Let's get ready for the
Oh, that's quite a long time, actually. Hold on.
3, 2, 1.
So the Mario one's
let's
half
hit
an
that
hour.
Start button here. As we said, it's co-op
Splatoon
mode.
2 starts at
Mario, Luigi, a little
11:30,
Super Mario
according
World,
to, well,
actually.
whatever
Yeah.
time this is,
I know
PT.
a lot of
It's
the
not my
competitors,
room, that
we
is
were
for
talking
sure.
to them, said they are very familiar with this, so if there's ever going to be a mode that they will
So
know
apparently
what
this
to do,
one's going to be very
the
short,
time.
but then...
Early on, you
or
see a
is
bit
that's
of
the
an
same
obstacle
date,
here,
right?
trying to get to the top shelf.
Yeah.
There's an on switch just staring you in the face. Dragon Feeny,
But
Yellow
then,
Killer
yeah,
Bee,
it'll
that
be
figured
way
it
too
out.
late to start
But
for
now
the
they've gotta
Smash one, so I
advance
swear to
Luigi
God,
on
they
the
better
bottom.
not,
They're
they
starting
better
to
not
slowly
announce a
figure
new
it out.
Smash
Hitting those
character at
on-off
the,
switches, opening up the gates, allowing them to progress here, Vish.
at the,
Yeah,
this
and
competition
like we're
thing.
talking about, one person is doing the on-off and the other person is just waiting. And in this particular moment, this is where the timing
Because
matters.
I'm
Like,
gonna
he
have to
has
go to
turn
bed.
The switch
I won't work
on,
tomorrow,
and then
dude.
the blue gear, and he has to jump on it. He has to do that 2 or 3 times, and they both make it to the second round at basically the same time.
Both teams sneaking through the door at the same time. Now you see a swinging crane floating at the top. They're trying to jump off of each other's heads to grab it, use those physics to advance. Oh, Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee moving forward, but there is a P block right there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that switch here, Nine.
The best prize that you could ever get at the end of a crane game pair. Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee move. They both get in at the same time. I cannot believe how close this is already. And now we see the switches again. It's going to be very important that they identify this because they are both moving at incredible speed.
And you see Abdallah and the Completionist slightly further ahead than the Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee. Don't forget, whatever team wins advances to the finals where they face off against each other. Abdallah and the Completionist hitting that POW block, getting the spring to go. Mario trying to jump up with that spring, advances. Luigi on your right-hand side, just a few seconds behind here, Vish.
This is a really tight race. They are just neck and neck right now. They're really figuring out all the things they need to do and like throwing the POW block up there to get the spring. And now they just have one more little obstacle to complete here. They passed the POW block to the top there. That timing.
Past the gravy and past the POW block.
This co-op shit's really cool.
And Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer Bee, they advance. Abdallah and the Completionist, oh, kicking it too high. It is exhausting having to grab a new POW block. Here comes another on-off section here, though, Nine, and this is going to require a lot of communication, it looks like.
This one is a little bit tricky. The last time that we saw this switch, it was a little bit more obvious what you need to do. Here, there's going to be some bouncing that's involved. You can't get to it with a normal jump.
Abdallah and the Completionist now equal with the Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee. And Vish, this is what we talked about. Seeing a puzzle in front of you and figuring out what do I do with all the tools at my disposal.
Right. I think just even like exploring a level or just like going through and seeing what options you do have could really help you out in a juncture like this.
You see Abdallah, the completionist, on that left-hand side, trying to jump onto the red block. They advance Mario right there. Ooh, what do you do here, Nine? This looks precarious.
Well, they got to figure it out quick. 1, 2, just a little late. The right idea, but unfortunately, the right idea is not enough. You got to start all over again.
And it comes to the execution we talked about, Vish. You can have the right idea, but at the end of the day, your thumbs have to be in sync with your brain.
Yeah, I mean, in a speedrun like this, you usually get like one try at most in terms of learning that kind of idea here. So he can't mess up again because you have to start all the way from the beginning. Will he get the timing down this time? You can see them biding their time.
Oh, he shuts the gate on him. Shuts the gate on him. Said, no, you can't come in for dinner.
Oh, no.
Abdallah and the completionist going back to the beginning. Meanwhile, Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer B still trying to find the rhythm. But Nine, this is an important point. You see a trap. How quickly can you go back through the puzzle and give yourself as many chances as possible?
That quickly is how they can get through it there. Both sides know what they need to do. It's just a matter of execution. And as we get to another tricky room right here, it's up to the Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer B to get through this as fast as possible.
And keep in mind, these red and blue blocks are now automatically switching off, and that's a feature with the on-off switch here, Vish. Other items can turn it on and off, but now that skull track is gone, let's go through the door and see what happens after
Hey, I
that.
love Buddy Switch
Abdallah,
Force.
the completionist. One room ahead on this course over Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer B. They're going to give themselves another chance on the left here, trying to time things out. It looks like they might have figured this out. And Abdallah, the completionist, taking the carpool through the tube. Is that going to be enough as you take a look coming out the pipe? One more trap here, though, Nine.
It's a trap and also a new feature. They immediately go to grab each other. 1, 2.
Oh, the air ball is just short. Abdallah and the completionist trying to close out this course and advance to the finals, and they do. Abdallah and that completionist high fives and dap around as they move on to the finals. Nicely done. Fantastic execution, and you see all the things you can do in co-op play, Vish. How about the teamwork by those two?
Oh, man, you could really see the teamwork coming together as the course even progressed, right? Like, you could see them really on point with their timing. As soon as they got that one red-blue block at the start where you have to do it twice in order to continue the next one, I feel like they were totally in sync, and everything after that just kind of really smoothly came together for them.
In Nine, it seemed like the difference in this course was how quickly Abdallah and the completionist figured out that one room where you've got to alternate the red and blue blocks and then time the double jump at the end. And they're able to rinse and repeat multiple times. Meanwhile, Yellow Killer B and the Dragon Feeny just couldn't get the rhythm down.
No, and it's remarkable not only how quickly they were able to adapt, but how quickly they figured out the exact timing that they needed to do. That is not easy to do. These people know what they're doing, and that skull track room that they got through, that took them 2 tries. They figured it out immediately and executed it right on that second try.
Well, we're at the finals, which means we do have to say goodbye to 2 of our competitors. Crowd, let's give a big round of applause to Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer B.
I think I'm going to call it after this. I don't really have anything to say, and I'm tired.
Just have a great time with it when it releases later.
We'll get
this
rest for
month,
work
but
tomorrow and
we do
for
have a finals to get to, and it'll
the
be
other
3
streams.
objective-based courses and then 1 finals course as well too. And this is where things get fun because now you've got different ways to finish courses here. You see round 1, the Dragon Feeny had the fastest time. She chose Yellow Killer B. However, Abdallah and
I probably won't have much to say for this Splatoon one either. Either of my, like I realize I've been saying I never played this and I never played that a lot this stream, but I didn't play Mario Maker 1. And meanwhile, I've been a really big fan of Splatoon, so
or whatever it may be that's
even then, like watching it, there's not always a lot for me to say about it, honestly, unless they reveal some kind of update or something.
What you have to do, and these are probably going to be
But
shorter courses as well too.
yeah, I think some people were hoping that this would have some kind of update for it.
Courses like this really will pay off because there's going to be a little.
I mean, like that it announced a new game style or something, because the way the menus were laid out in the direct for Mario Maker 2,
You might have to collect all the coins as you mentioned. So
it showed
very wary
Mario
of what's
3D
coming up
World
ahead while
under
taking-
extra
while going
game
as fast as you
styles.
can is going to be really the crucial portion of this.
Because, you know, it's separate because of all the differences in it that don't really carry over to the other styles, so you can't really switch back and forth straight away. Like you have to reset the level to switch to 3D World.
Let's get this countdown
back.
started here, crowd.
But the way that there's extra space in the menu makes it look like there's room for more of these like extra styles.
Yeah, I see a furrowed brow the completionist. He's ready to go. 3, 2,
All right.
1, and let's roll here. Both players hitting that play button at the same time. Finals 1.
But yeah,
Super Mario 3
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't announce anything
Get it coming up eventually, and it's going to be
for Mario
reaching
Maker at this
goal
event.
after hitting all, in this case one, piece.
Well, let's see what we have here. You go through the pipe, and there's a mushroom, and up. Just like
Oh,
too big to get through there.
that was win.
Yeah, that's our first peek at
Thought you'd
the
have to like
night mode
jump and
feature
wiggle
that
your
we
way
have
through.
in Super Mario Maker 2.
That'd be funny.
And it looks like there's twisters here as well, and we also have the little sandstorm.
I don't know
feature,
if
which
there's
is gonna
enough space
push
to get
you,
enough of a run up to
through
kind
that
of
little area that's too
actually
difficult
move
for
through
you
it
if
like
you
that,
were
though. You probably can't.
Abdallah trying to figure out which jigsaw piece can complete this puzzle right now. Can't make it through that pipe as long as you've got those twisters at the bottom. Hits the on-off switch, trying to mess around with the twister on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, completionist, knocks the twister off right there, and seems like both players still trying to kind of figure out how this course works here, Nine.
Right, and you called it a puzzle earlier. It absolutely is, and everything that you see right here is self-contained. Both of them have gone through the door, they've gone back through the pipe, and it looks like the completionist is starting to figure it out, escorting that twister all the way to the end. Almost there, gonna have to get it to drop just one more.
You'll notice that twister doesn't move to any empty block. It'll return back, but the twister drops down for the completionist. Looks like our crowd is starting to kind of figure out this puzzle as well, too. Now it just comes down to that execution piece we talked about, Vish.
Right, yeah, I think both players are kind of figuring out the mechanics of this level and how to get the twister all the way to the right, left side there, and finally gets him all the way down, and that's gonna move the P block all the way there, and he is going to be able to get it up. P-switch ready.
But the
wait a
completionist carries it. Don't you hit a P-switch when you see it, Fish?
You should hit
He's
the
carrying it like a watermelon at this point. Oh, he hits the P-switch, the completionist.
Uh-oh, that's not what you're supposed to do.
Completionist. Oh, he gets the mushroom at the end, and the completionist.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of time to reset the whole thing.
3-second head start in the finals already, and that's what we saw at 9, the ability to recognize a puzzle and how quickly can you rinse and repeat.
Well, talk about a margin for error here. They both actually did the same thing. They took the P-switch up to the block on the top right. The only difference is that the completionist did not let the block go. We saw Abdallah do that, and once it's up there, you can't grab it again. It's floating in the air, you're floating in the air, and we didn't see it there, but he actually had to reset the level anyway.
And it goes back to the mechanics of not only Mario, Vish, but the different traps and hazards you're going to see, understanding how those twisters work and how you can't go through the pipe and you can't go through if you're carrying anything.
Yeah, that's a new feature here in Mario Maker 2, so it just kept you all the way up there, and it's a P-switch. You gotta hit the switch, man. All the switchers on the right side.
It's shiny. It's blinking in the face.
Well, a lot of other levels in Mario Maker seem to want you to take the Switch with you to somewhere in particular to use it, and then step on it there. So I don't blame them for thinking that, but
our second course here between Abdallah and the completionist. The completionist taking the first one with a 3-second head start. They're ready to go. They're exhaling. They're ready to roll. Let's get this countdown started here. All right, we've got our second course here, and 9. What are the rules for this one here?
Reach the coin, or the goal, after grabbing all 100 coins. You do have to reach the coins, in fact, 100 of them, and you see right there, that flag is not yet there. Let's hop into the pipe and see what we've got.
And also, what genre are we working with here so they're familiar with the controls?
Yeah, this is Super Mario World 3D, so we're gonna be able to see what's going on here, or new Mario Maker 3D. So we're gonna have the
completionist on your right-hand side, using that wall jump and those swinging cranes. Abdallah flying forward right now, gets propeller Mario, and whee! Trying to go to the top. And you see those vines might help here. 9 already, Abdallah blowing through this course.
That's 90 coins right there, needs to find 10 more. And as you look up to the top of your screen, another new feature, 10 coins in one. You saw a few of the blocks get broken right there. I think Abdallah already knows. It's just on execution, but watch out, the completion is not far behind, but that's all 100.
Abdallah now just has to descend to the bottom and all about grabbing that bag and going here at this point here, Vish.
Yeah, working with the physics on this level, he traversed this so quickly because it was
did he just say bitch? Or did he say, or is that someone's name? Like bitch or something? I don't know.
So much for gamemanship and good friendship right here.
They were just friends in the previous game. What happened?
Smirk. Oh,
okay.
Oh, I know that. Heating up here at the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Friends are
Spell
now
out the whole thing, why don't you?
Abdallah rubbing it into the face and beard of the completionist right there, 9.
That nod that the completionist gave was not a happy nod.
No.
That was all right. We got one more.
Yeah,
let's see who gets the lead.
That's a you cut me off in the buffet nod right there. No, thank you. 1-1 is the score now, so neither player with a head start in the final course we'll get to. We're ready for course number 3. Let's keep this action rolling here, crowd. You know what to do when that countdown begins. Let me hear you sing.
I gotta say, these levels are so creative. I'm really enjoying this.
Third objective-based course here. 9, go ahead and break it down for us.
Reach the goal while riding Yoshi. I know there's some Yoshi fans in the crowd. Come on, who doesn't love him? Right at the beginning, you get to jump on him, but it looks like there is a world of pain waiting for them.
A lot of saws, and that's not something Yoshi likes. Yoshi bouncing up the cannonball on the left-hand side for Abdallah. Slight lead, hits the off switch. I wonder what comes out of there. Avoiding the fire, but a twister sends him straight into the spike. And Abdallah losing a life right now. Oh, but the completionist able to move forward, jumping underneath the saws, and you see some dripping water. Avoids the icicle falling down, but then that pink bumper knocking him off, and you got to be careful here, Fish.
Yeah, that being said, I feel like the completionist really went through that stage quite fast. He was able to duck under the saws really well, carrying the momentum while he slides. And then he also went through the icicle portion pretty quickly. And now he's already on the second part, and we're going to see seesaws here. You got to have to make sure to put your weight on the right portion and jump. According completionist, finished that so fast.
Under a minute. Completionist not rubbing it in. It's all business. You see the collar. You see the
I do like the keep Yoshi objective. Because so many people just throw him away, just jump off him, just using him as a stepping stone. That's so sad.
Nearly a flawless finish.
Always makes me sad when people do that. I always try to avoid doing that.
I was gonna say, well, you know, if you bounce off Yoshi,
So then you can't take him to the next level. I mean, he's kind of useful.
The entire time. Let's just run through this, no problem.
Like throwing away a power-up.
Preservation.
Learn an actual character is like one of the cutest Mario characters around. God, why would you do that?
These courses are flying by much quicker as they get more invested in this game.
It's all about the frames for these for some of these people, isn't it?
Taking 2 out of those 3, which means you have a nice, comfortable 3-second head start. But as we know, sometimes 3 seconds isn't much time in these final courses,
Potentially, in those last couple of games, though, they were like pretty neck and neck, and some of them are speeding through it like we saw completionist. So 3 seconds might actually be make or break in this last game we're going to see here.
Let's get set for our final course of the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Crowd, let's get this thing rolling. The completionist taking on Abdallah. One more course to determine who will be our champion this year. Let's get set. Oh, the completionist hitting the start button first. Obviously, you get that 3-second head start, so that's great right there by Abdallah, honoring that. And of course, there's going to be lava here, 9.
Of course, there's going to be lava, and this was the one that we hadn't seen yet. We're taking it back all the way to the classic there, and neither one of them clearing it so far. A little stumble there at the start, but of course, lava. I wonder who we're going to see at the end of this.
The completionist able to stay alive and dance around the icicle, trying to get some momentum, waits for that lava to fall. We get to the next section here. Abdallah slightly ahead, grabs the swinging crane, but we've got a big boom boom floating down right now, 9.
Look at how quickly Abdallah went across that, and the speed being too much. The completionist taking the more cautious route meets the same fate. They're going to start again. I'm starting to think those 3 seconds may not matter too much.
And Bish, this is where rinse repeat becomes very important, because you're going to get back to the same part that you stumbled against. How quickly can you get back to that same area?
Definitely. I think it's going to be like a huge learning process as they traverse this level, right? And that 3 seconds allowed him to get maybe 1 extra try.
It always makes me nervous running over gaps like that in the Oh, that's sneaky on the left there. That's fucking sneaky.
The kind words of Dikembe Mutombo. No.
What? What?
But you know, we talked earlier about how lots of different elements of a level. We saw earlier a shell hitting the on-off block. This time it's a spike. You've got to be aware of everything. And even though Abdallah had made it further,
This level gives me anxiety.
the same area.
This level gives me a lot of anxiety.
Too high and catches his cap on the icicle. Meanwhile, the completionist is taking a nice little Sunday cruise, and he sees the trap ahead. But he jumps too early, and he falls into the lava. Abdallah with a chance to take the lead. He's got to navigate, but he falls to the same fate as earlier, and already this lava castle is causing a lot of issues for both our runners here, 9.
And now both of them know the trick to this, right? They have both been fooled by the same things a couple of times. This is really rinse and repeat, repetition, maybe little refinements here, but at this point, it's really just about making sure you execute the plan you already know.
And Vish, what's very difficult is you want to execute, but you know right on the other side, there's somebody competing right against you, and you've got to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, you want to like take your time just a little bit, but at the same time, you got to go as fast as you can. And Completion is finally able to get all the red points. Will he go to the next portion? Gets the key. He's there. But what is waiting for him on the other side of that door?
Uh-oh, it seems
Oh my God, he just does it. He does that right away.
The castle and reaches the first checkpoint. Here comes another interesting part. Has the icicles falling, staying on the moving platform, but
Thank goodness for checkpoints.
And all of our excitement,
That's literally just about to say that.
tiptoeing on this moving platform, but he falls to the same fate as well too. And this is tricky here, Nine, because those icicles are falling faster than the platform's moving.
Right, and I think Abdallah has already done it. You saw that he is starting much further back on the platform. And just
How are you supposed to do that?
Staying clear of them just a few more feet and gets
I know
to the
it
next
works on
portion
that,
of
but
what
then
waits.
Just like getting candy in the middle
I guess the
of the night,
timing
you
of
have to
when you
tiptoe
touch
down
the
hallway.
platform
Abdallah
and
moving
how
his
soon
way
you run across
up
it
the
affects
spikes
it.
to some more swinging cranes.
Like you're going to start standing on the left part of the platform and slowly move across, but if you start on the right, then the icicles catch up to you too quickly.
Of the icicle, and then from there,
That's
able to get to
tricky.
the next swinging crane. So using all
That's
the physics of
sneaky.
the features of Mario 2, and using the physics there to be able to jump on the opposite way from the swinging crane. I like that.
And don't forget,
It's like Gerard hasn't quite worked that
If you're
out.
an optimist, they go up as well too, Nine. And here comes an interesting part with
It's
some
okay.
binds and Abdallah being like Tarzan, just being very careful swinging bind to bind.
This is interesting. I think Abdallah's been the more aggressive of the two players, but here saying, all right, let's just get across this. If I fall, I have a long way back up. As the completionist says, hey, wait a minute.
Oh, he
I'm
got it.
climbing
Good.
this mountain too.
And Abdallah also saying one hazard he doesn't like, the solo spikes from the original Super Mario Brothers. You see it right there as those watermelon-looking bouncers making this climb to the summit just a little bit tougher. But Abdallah navigating that section. Now he has a slope with some springs here, Vish.
And they all mentioned how much they dislike.
Yeah, there it is again. That's when I thought he said bitch. He must be. I think it's when the other announcer's name sounds a little like it.
Risk reward really comes into play because you don't want to fall all the way down and have to redo this entire course.
Completion is not too far behind, using those swinging cranes to make his way up the mountain. Abdallah trying to figure out the seesaw with the twister. A lot of components here, and once again, you have to be familiar with the mechanics of these hazards here, Nine.
And you see right there, just not enough height to get up there. Gonna try it again. Abdallah knows what he needs to do here. He needs to manipulate where that twister is and lower him on the seesaw. And meanwhile, on the other side, the completion is never far behind.
He's on the vine portion as well, too, so we know he's hot on the heels of Abdallah. Abdallah just playing on the playground right now with the seesaw and the twister, trying to figure out, how do I get up to that bridge? Another puzzle-solving component here, Vish.
Yeah, and I think he's finally figured it out where he got him all the way to the tippy top of that seesaw, and now he will make his way to the next portion.
That's a cute little house. I don't think that's the intended use for those tiles, but it's cute.
Checkpoint reached by Abdallah. You see some more rising lava. A lot of Goombas trying to crowd the club. Oh, there he is. There's Bowser, but it looks like Bowser has updated his home security system. A couple more obstacles to try and take down King Koopa.
And this really is the puzzle here. Can they figure out the quickest and most efficient way?
Oh my god, it's the boss from Rayman 2!
Over there, and you look, Abdallah is taking his time right now and jumping
Oh!
too high. Earlier, you wanted to jump as high as you could on the crane. Not so much in this portion.
Have to watch your head, but you see the on-off switch will block the Goombas from coming out of the pipes. You have to navigate the huge fire breath coming in from Bowser. And this is where it gets tricky here, because you saw those 3 icicles, and we always know 3 is the magic number here, Vish.
Right. I wonder how many icicles it'll take to get this Bowser. Okay, the third one.
Ooh, what?
It's gonna be 3 as well. That's why you fell on top of him.
You thought it was going to take 3. The completionist, though, getting ready to go down the chimney.
How do you do that? Are you supposed to use the ones at the top and lure them down from below?
It takes more than 3 now? What's going on?
Can you do that?
Getting the gym, eating some protein, getting some greens.
This is something else. Some of the levels people are going to make with this thing are going to be insane.
It takes 3 right. No.
Oh, little did you know. Oh man, but these
Are you supposed to try and jump in the little gap?
So
Maybe
the
you're not
swing
supposed to
ball, I think,
defeat
is gonna
Bowser.
be very useful in how they are able to do even more than just the 3 icicles.
9, rinse and repeat as always. You
God,
know
no,
how
I'm
to
actually
get on top of Bowser.
stop looking
Now
at
you
Twitter
be
every
very
5
careful.
seconds. I'm actually invested in this.
That's not the type of back massage you want right there. No. Bowser claiming the completionist. Abdallah trying to navigate things. He's already gotten a couple of icicles on Bowser. That's only 3 though. How many more does he need? 2 more going down.
I guess, I
That's
mean,
6.
these
That's gotta
guys
go.
would have seen the level before, so I guess you do need multiple
Man,
icicles.
the completion is doing the same. Abdallah has his method here. Can he get over? Barely clears it, and that Goomba almost ending the run. That's 9 icicles. That's still not enough.
Let's see if it'll do with 3 more. Abdallah.
Oh, they
well,
respawn if you leave.
Bowser
Oh.
hit the gym just like you, 9.
What's going on? How is
I would not have worked that out on my own.
Where has he been this whole time? He's been training.
The fire keeps coming.
Gerard can't work it out.
Oh, Abdallah knocks
Not
out
Mega Man
Bowser.
X, doesn't
Now
work
he
that
just
way.
has to navigate the swinging crane. A couple more icicles. Watch out for the sod. And Abdallah gets the axe, knocks out Bowser, and that will do it as Abdallah is victorious, and he is your Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019 Grand Champion.
Oh my goodness. What a crazy last level there. The way you take out Bowser was so creative. Super Mario Maker.
I think out of everything in that level there, 9, the thing that surprised people the most, the 14 hits to knock out Bowser. We're all used to 3, but 14 icicles to KO Bowser.
And I think it's so important to recognize how tricky the method that Abdallah was using was, because every time he jumped out, there was a chance that the RNG of Bowser's fire would be there. He almost hit a Goomba as well, and as we all know, every time Mario takes a trip back to the beginning of that level, it resets the health, and Abdallah standing at center stage right now, championing the crowd.
Well, we have a champion, and to present his hardware, everybody, please welcome the producer for Super Mario Maker 2, Mr. Tezuka. How about that trophy right there, 9?
One of a kind, walking over there to get it. I know that this is exactly what they've been working for this entire time, and to be able to come out on top in the way that he has, just remarkable.
Abdallah, your champion here, and Mr.
Bowing
Tezuka
'cause he's
passing out the
Japanese and all
hardware
that.
there. Couple
That's
photos
cute.
as well too. Let's go ahead, toss it down to Mr. Tezuka. for
Meanwhile,
a few
Tezuka himself isn't bowing or anything. It's like, okay, Westerners don't bow. I don't. There's no big deal. And then the other guy tries bowing a bunch anyway.
Congratulations to you, just again.
本当はね、上の土管から登場したかったんですけども、ちょっと危ないからどうしてもやめてほしいということで、ここから出てきました。
So I actually wanted to enter the stage from that pipe, but I was told by the staff that would be too dangerous, so they told me to stop.
素晴らしい試合でしたね。本当にどちらが勝つかわからなくて。
That was a really great final course you guys played, and I had no idea who was going to win right up until the end.
で私も日本でこのレベルを遊んでみたんですけど、全然クリアできなかったです。
So I actually played these courses myself in Japan, but I was unable to clear any of them.
制作者ですけども、このゲームのスタッフですけども、なかなかね難しいコースは苦手です。
So yeah, even for the staff of this game, these difficult courses are really tricky for us to play.
すごいスーパープレイでした。
So, but you were truly amazing. It was a super play that you put on display for us.
で、このゲームを盛り上げてくださった皆さんも拍手を送りたいと思います。このゲームを盛り上げてくださった皆さんにも拍手を送りたい。
And I also want to applaud you guys for raising such a good cheer for the entire play we saw today. Thank you. Applaud yourselves. Up here too.
このレベルは任天堂のツリーハウスのメンバーが頑張って作ってくださいました。
So these courses that you saw today were created by members of Nintendo's Treehouse.
このトーナメントのデザインもみんな彼らが考えてくださいました。
And they also thought up all the details for the tournament today.
これ皆さん遊んでみたいと思いませんか？
So would you like to give these courses a try yourself?
Yeah, this is going to be the same as the one for the first game, right?
皆さんにも遊んでもらえるようにと今考えてます。
So this game is going to be coming out pretty soon, and we're thinking of a way to make sure all of you will be able to play these courses as well.
Thinking of a way? And just upload them as like a Nintendo official Nintendo account or something?
このステージは続きます。もっともっと盛り上がってください。
So we've still got plenty of entertainment for you. You're going to be seen on this stage. So keep up the energy, and we hope you're looking forward to it all. All right, thank you so much.
Put your hands together one more time for the producer of Super Mario Maker 2, Mr. Tezuka. And how about a round of applause for all of our participants, the Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer Bee, the Completionist, and your champion, Abdallah. That'll do it for the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Don't forget,
Who's
Super
that dude?
Mario Maker 2 drops June 28th. So make sure you grab that. You'll get a chance to play some of these fantastic levels. But don't go anywhere. We've got more great Nintendo competitive action just around the
This
corner.
fucking
as we
monster
get
is
set
fantastic.
For the Splatoon 2 World Championships 2019. Next, here at the theater.
Alright, I'm gonna watch those without streaming, because I haven't really been talking much anyway. But I'll be back for... Hold on. I will switch over to this, so there's a bit of music. And I'll check my phone, because I keep on forgetting what's next. Right, I've got work late tomorrow. And then after work I'll be staying up late again. It took 6 a.m. for Microsoft, and I hear that one's going to be 2 hours long. Which is insane. Well, I mean, it makes sense because, like, since Sony's not going to be here this year, and, like, most of Sony and Microsoft saying was third parties anyway, so they probably all just jumped, all the people who would have been at Sony just jumped ship and showed this stuff at Xbox instead, and now they've got twice as many games to show. So I suppose it makes sense that it'd be longer, but if the reports of it being like 2 hours are right, isn't that like... I'm remembering that right? Like, it's just twice as long as it usually is, isn't it? I think it is, anyway. But, so yeah, that'll be about 24, well, 20, more like 25 hours from now. And then got Bethesda, Devolver, and then by the time Devolver's done, it'll be sometime after midday, and then I'll probably just sleep through. Like, for some reason they'll put me on work the same day as it's when they're not supposed to, when there's limited run, Ubisoft, and Square. And I really want to watch them. You know, I'm curious about the Kingdom Hearts DLC especially, because I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be about. But yeah, I'm not gonna be streaming any of those, because with the way that work is lining up, it's just not gonna happen, unfortunately. And you know, those are ones that I would have a lot more to say about than pretty much anything that's happening today. It's been pretty slow. Well, you know, I've been pretty slow, at least. I mean, slow's not the right word, but vocally, I haven't been talking a lot. But yeah, I'll probably watch a little bit of this, just by myself off stream, the Splatoon thing. And next time I will go live, it'll be, yeah, for Microsoft, which is where things are going to get really interesting. Really want more Ori, please. Show me another Will of the Wisps trailer. Show me a release date, come on. And then Bethesda's going to have Doom, so I'm super hyped for that. Be interesting to see if they address the issues with Fallout 76 or not. They probably won't, based on some of the like interviews and stuff that's been going around. And Devolver's just going to be a shit show as usual, which is going to be brilliant. It's going to be beautiful. Hopefully there'll be some news on that Middle Wolf Chaos port. Yeah, limited run, Ubisoft and Square, I'll have to sleep through. I won't be able to watch those live. And then I'll absolutely be back for Nintendo after that. For, you know, the main Nintendo thing. And even though I spent all this time working on the Twitter layouts and all this stuff for OBS that I hardly used, what I haven't done is something about this. Still haven't made some actual proper, like, nice screen to to actually end this end stream. So I have a feeling these are going to keep ending kind of awkwardly for a while until I get the hang of things. You know, if anyone does end up watching this in the VOD or whatever, then hopefully some of the stuff that happened earlier will be enough to carry it a little bit. And I plan on well, I don't know what I plan on. I've been thinking about possibly on all these E3 streams that I'm just sort of editing some stuff together, like doing like a sort of highlights video on YouTube with some of the crazier reactions and things like that. But for now, that's going to do it. So, you know, just about no one showed up for this stream, but that's okay. But for those, if anyone ends up watching this at some point in time, thanks. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you for Microsoft.